What is up, my friends? Welcome back to the Broken Earth campaign, part of the Critical Impact chapter in the Impact Gaming community. Now, we have not been meeting much recently, but we are back. It has been a while,
Yeah.
but here we are. So, without further ado, let's have everyone roll a d20. And I'll even get in on this action, because it's been 3 weeks.
Cool. I win.
Looks like it's going to be Layla giving us our recap.
I got it. I left halfway through the session, by the way. Do you remember? So I have no idea what happened after I left.
That's okay. Just read the last time recap.
Okay, sick.
Let me grab the recap music. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
Last time, our heroes fought off a couple of dwarves and kicked their butts, and then let them carry on their merry way. When we were done with that, we made our way to the magical barrier in the Elven Kingdom. Our little caravan was stopped, and they realized that Savart had gone missing. It turns out that this was Savart's celestial patron's domain, and he did eventually rejoin the party after we rest after our long journey.
Indeed! At least I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Right, so you were welcomed into the Elven Kingdom and basically said, hey, go take a, here, have a bed.
Have some R&R.
Yes.
It's on the house.
Okay, so we rejoin our party. By the way, Rainbow, I don't know if you saw the last session, but I came up with the best voice for this unicorn.
Yes.
Care to refresh me with it?
Well, you weren't there for it, but give me just a sec, because I gotta open up my chat on my phone. No, quiet.
Gotta get in the right frame of mind for it.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is true. I have to do voice acting, and you have to do the exact same thing. You gotta get into it.
Basically, it's a bit like this.
Perfect.
I'm Lord Barshala. Ooh, Sivart. I was wondering when you'd show up.
More or less like that.
Wonderful.
Brilliant.
Right. So, we join our party. They find themselves in a bungalow out in the forest as the sun begins to rise and our heroes wake from their nap. From their sleep, I should say. They are met by this General Galandir that they met yesterday, standing there at the front door. Says, "Oh, you're awake. Good. We need to talk."
Come on in, Galadir.
I'm already in, and you can see he's standing there and he's holding a pack. And anyone that looks at it will notice that it's Jericho's pack. It's got a big J on it.
And what happened? Where is Jericho?
And Jericho's
It might
there,
not-
probably rubbing the sleep from his eyes.
Did you swipe Jericho's pack?
Yes. It's not the pack I'm worried about. It's the contents. And then he dumps the contents onto the ground. And this is basically your bag of holding.
Right.
So basically all these contents spill out, including, let me find the handout. There it is. Okay. Including these crystal ore things
Okay.
that you guys obtained in Earthcut.
Yeah.
Says, what are you doing with these?
A bit of a story with that one. Sivart will reach into his pack and pull out his and hold it up.
As you are reaching into your pack, an arrow immediately strikes your pack. You guys are in kind of like an open-aired, kind of like in the pictures in the background. There's like, you know, huge windows essentially. You're basically camping. An arrow strikes your pack as you go to reach for it, pinning it to the ground. Now, no sudden moves. As this general reaches down and grabs this crystal, he holds it in his hand. So, when were you going to tell me about this?
We apologize, sir. We didn't really know that it was something to have to tell you about.
It's a rock.
Kind of looks at you, Jericho, kind of peering into you. Says, do you know what this is?
Unfortunately, through looking for information in Earthcut and later Leewick, we were not able to find anything about what the crystals were.
Again, he's just kind of peering into you as if he's staring into your soul. And he says,
Galahad, what
why
is the
did
meaning
you
of
bring
this?
it here?
We brought them with us. We had intercepted a cargo shipment that was being shipped out of Earthcut. Apparently at the time, by illicit individuals. We didn't know what this ord was. If it's anything dangerous, perhaps you should tell us?
He kind of looks at you, Sivart, kind of doing this soul-piercing gaze as well, and he says, I will be the one asking the questions.
Ugh.
And he says, so tell me, yes or no, do you know what this is?
I'm afraid I don't.
I'm at a loss.
Kind of looks at everyone else, expecting an answer.
Not a clue.
Do I know what it is? I don't remember.
Well, if you, the player, don't know, then assume your character doesn't know.
Mm-hmm. He does not know anything.
He kind of looks down at each one of you, you know, kind of giving you the soul-piercing gaze. He says, you truly do not know what this is. I see. Very well. And as he says that, you can see sort of this bright circle sort of illuminate beneath the entire house and then just sort of disappear or fade. And he picks up, you know, picks up Jericho's sack and he starts putting things back inside of it. And he says, I do apologize for the rudeness in my manner, but, well, it's best if we talk in private. And then, like, he kind of waves his hands, and as you look, almost like the trees themselves seems to peel away as these camouflage cloaks just kind of jump off these trees and walk away, as these weird kind of shifting cloaks these elves are wearing help them disguise themselves. There's probably about 20, 30 of them that were watching you. Hence this arrow that attacked Sivart's pack.
Sivar will come over and start trying to dislodge the arrow on his back.
It takes you a little bit, but, you know, you get it out. I mean, now your pack's got a bit of a hole in it. You might need to sew up later. But it still functions as a sack.
Sivar's gonna hold it up towards Jericho, hoping he has the mending spell.
Chat says you should kill General Galandir.
Traitor!
Galandir.
I do not have that spell, Savart.
All frowns from Sivart.
And the general,
Well-
general says, I apologize. I had to be sure. Very well. Grab your things. I will meet you in the forest after you have taken breakfast. We need to talk. And he kind of hands you back your bag, Jericho, but he's still holding on to this one crystal.
Is it just the one of it?
He just took one. There were several in your bag, but he just took
Right,
one
but-
of them.
So he put the other ones back.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Any
Yeah,
ideas?
I had 11 of them.
11. Well, it seems we've been carrying around some form of elven contraband.
Perhaps, this
Almost
might
like it's an
explain
illegal
why they-
substance.
Yeah.
That might explain why they were trying to transport it in secret anyway.
Ah, perhaps they were attempting to smuggle it into the elven lands? Dastardly.
In the Elven Lands? Out the Elven Lands? Through the Elven Lands?
This is obviously unicorn droppings.
Obviously.
Oh my,
Layla.
what are you doing with my poo?
Agamemnon, Oriel, Layla, do you have any?
No.
I don't think so.
I think they grabbed them, but then put them inside Jericho's pack.
Yeah, I don't have
Gotcha.
any.
So only Sivart and Jericho had them on
Yeah, that might explain why I had 11 of them.
him.
I mean, I have 2 of them.
Oh, there you go. How many do I have? Where is it?
All I
There
know
we go.
is
I
that
have
you
11
guys-
of them in mine as well.
All I know is that you guys rolled really high to grab, like, a bunch of them.
Oh, mad dash. But we didn't find our friend's body.
Never said Warlink was dead.
Oh no, he wasn't dead. Ah. Alright, where do we find breakfast? Is it just there? Did it grow?
I mean, you could seek out breakfast, or you could make your own, or
I'm going to seek out breakfast. I want to know what elven breakfast is like.
mostly bread, maybe some nuts and berries. But you follow the sweet scent of baking bread, and eventually you find a baker, setting out bread on the table.
I'll ask for some.
1 silver piece.
Alright then. Is there enough for everybody?
There's like tons of bread. He's got he's got workers in the back. He's like got several shopkeepers that are just kind of there.
Alright, I'll buy 5 and bring them back to everyone.
All right, you buy 5 small loaves of bread.
I'll bring them back to the hut.
All right, you bring it back to the hut / bivouac / whatever. it's
Bungalow,
called.
that's right, bungalow.
Bungalow. And
I'll give everyone a
everyone's
piece.
kind of getting ready for the day. And Sivart comes back and he's got bread.
Elven bread.
I see you found the limbus.
What's a limbus?
What exactly makes it elven?
I don't know. Well,
Well,
wait.
an elf made it. so-
Elves did make it. Alright, I want to eat it. Does it taste good?
It tastes really good.
Like, better than most bread good?
It's fresh bread. I mean, what more could you want?
Nothing. It's delicious.
Maybe some butter, but it tastes good enough
Crunch.
to eat on its own. It's food.
I couldn't find any elven butter, so
You'd have to find elven cows. so you can get elven milk and then churn it into elven butter.
You shouldn't talk about people's mothers that way.
Brilliant. Alright, everyone remember our plan from last time?
Nope.
Not even the DM remembers.
Find those dwarves and convince them to quit attacking the elves, I believe.
And if we do that, they'll help us with the fort. Is that
Yes.
it? Otherwise, it's a waste of time.
Agreed. But that is why we're here.
At the very least, to figure out what quarrel the dwarves have.
So, anyone here experienced with negotiating with dwarves?
My wife doesn't count.
Jericho, did you work with
Let's be
any
honest.
of them?
Let's be honest. In the marriage between Agamemnon and Farah, Farah is the one that wins all the arguments.
Wins all of them. Jericho, with your time in Leowick, did you interact with any dwarven bands?
Yeah, I've definitely done my fair share of trade negotiations, and there's at least one dwarf I've communicated with, but dwarves don't like dimmies very much, as you noticed.
Yes. Ever much so. Even more than back home.
So I
Sivart's
can
already got
definitely-
one successful dwarf negotiation under his belt.
I can definitely communicate with them and try my best, but I'm not gonna make any promises as soon as they see my face.
Sivart holds the old bird disguise.
But even birds technically are dimmies.
Ah, curse that.
Hello, Computer 7412. Thank you for the 100 bits and nearly scaring me out of my seat.
After this, we'll go meet up with the general. It's best to figure out what's going on with that, or this contraband before we go do anything else. But after that, anyone else have any other reason to stick around? For some time, anyway.
And remember, don't forget anything. Look what happened to me. Take my life as an example.
Agamemnon? It is... Nope. Not gonna touch that one.
Kind of sulking a little bit.
Well, we've got bread anyway. Do I need... Oh, I'll go get water. Somewhere I'll get up and go find a source of water.
There's a river nearby. Plenty of clean water around. I mean, it's a forest. There's gotta be.
Alright, are there cups or something inside the bungalow?
No.
Is there...
Just stick your
A
head in and
boss?
start sucking down the water.
The Elven way! I've got no cups, so I guess...
Use your hands.
Well, I wanted to bring one more for everyone.
A water
They can get
skin.
their own water if they want.
Fine. Is the bread enough for a breakfast?
Oh yes, it's quite filling.
Nice. Alright, I will be right back.
Sivart runs off into the woods. The party is left to decide. Should we go meet with this general, or should we just leave? Or do something else entirely?
Meet with the general.
Wouldn't hurt to get more information.
Alright. The party starts asking around, where do we find this guy? Oh, the general, he's over there. And so they're like, so the party eventually finds its way to the general's tent, or bungalow, or what a bivouac, or whatever you want to call it. And you see him inside with some of his lieutenants. Says, had a good good sleep, did you? I'll take that as a
Yes.
no.
Sorry about that. Cat crisis averted. What happened?
You're at the general's tent now.
Ah, there we go.
Right. And he just kind of dismisses his lieutenants and they walk off. Says, so, he puts this crystal ore down on the table. What do you know about this?
A colorful ore, and that I guess it was being smuggled out of Earthcut. However, it's said.
Interesting.
We never did catch the smugglers themselves.
If I remember correctly, this was the ore that produced that like almost negative magic field.
Ah, yes, quite astute. Well, you see, this is what we call Juris ore. And I'm going to type it out for you in the chat. We call this Juris ore. Very strange properties. Not very good at being forged into weapons or armor or anything for that matter. Good for jewelry though. Just stick it on there and it looks nice. But there is something very important about this ore that you should understand. As you have mentioned, it has magic negating properties. It can be turned into... Hold on, I just gotta facepalm for a second, Layla. It can be turned into weapons, but it's very hard to forge. Apparently, only the dwarves can do it. And, well, you see, weapons made from this type of metal are said to be effective against magical beings. So you'll forgive me if I was hesitant to welcome you into the Elven lands. I had to be sure you weren't here on a dwarven agenda to do something to the Forest Lord. The Lord of the Forest.
I never did get too much of Balshala's past. Was Balshala attacked with one of these weapons before?
I assure you, if he were, he would not be running around the forest today. These things can leave quite the wound on magical beings. Weapons made from this ore, that is. This stuff, I mean, just kind of like tosses it around. Pretty much harmless.
Understandable now. Do you know where they originate from? Another thing we couldn't exactly figure out.
The ore itself? Yes, no?
Yes.
The ore itself. Well, from what I've heard, it's mined from underwater deposits. I heard the Tritons sort of mine it out every now and then, but they don't really make a profit off of it, so it's not a big thing. You know, because you can't do anything with it.
That's quite a bit away from Earthcut. Suspicious.
Well, that's the main source of underwater caves. Very easy to find down there, apparently. But practically worthless, so.
Well then, we've made our decision to head east, attempt to negotiate with the dwarves, or at least figure out where this conflict arose from.
Negotiate? Are you mad?
Yes, we are the ones that perhaps not bringing a blade to the table for a dwarf is not the best of ideas, but we're going to try.
Oh, chat's blowing up and I'm not paying attention to it. Right. He says, well, about that, I wanted to discuss something with you. Ah, here we are. Then, like, one of his lieutenants comes by, and he's holding, like, a box. Just, like, a very plain, simple wooden box. He says, right. There's something you should see. Follow me. And this lieutenant kind of falls in step with you. Do you want to follow him or just be like, ah, screw you?
No, I'm gonna get up and follow him.
Yep.
Alright. As you follow him, he makes his way, and there's a very rudimentary kind of target dummy standing in front of you, and off to the side are some of the elven troops, perhaps practicing with the blades or shooting arrows at targets 100 meters away. Just, a training grounds. Says, right, well, dwarves have developed a new kind of weapon. Something we haven't seen before. And it's, quite disturbing, actually. Yeah, okay. He says, take a look. And then this lieutenant opens up this box, and you see this very weird-looking kind of wand-type thing. It's cylindrical, but it's like really fat. It's made out of metal. It's kind of tapered at the end.
Is that some form of wand? A magical tool?
Something like that. We're not entirely sure what to call it. Yeah, there's an inscription here, and he looks, and he like kind of turns it over, and in Dwarven, you see like just kind of a very simple Dwarven script, kind of inlaid into this metal. It says, now my Dwarven is a little rusty, but I believe it says, Doomy Boomy.
Doomy Boomy.
Yes, they call it a Doomy Boomy.
With my knowledge of Dwarvish, can I just make sure that that's not misinformation?
That is actually what it says on the wand. It's a rough translation, but it's a good translation.
Yeah, Jericho will just facepalm.
It says, right.
Is it magical?
I don't think so. We do not believe so, but the effects are quite potent.
Could
If
you
wish,
give us a demonstration?
Yes. If you wish, you may cast Detect Magic on it if you are so inclined.
Alright. I will cast the Detectist of Magicus.
You cast Detect Magic, and you can feel some of the bows around you, some of the cloaks that the elves are wearing. This general's definitely got a couple on him, but this thing is not emanating any magic. And of course, obviously, the ore itself is kind of negating something,
eating,
but it's not interfering with this Detect Magic.
So if I stare into the ore with Detect Magic, do I stare in to a tiny abyss?
No, it's more like if you activate Detect Magic. Like, imagine that everything goes red, everything that's magic goes green, but around this ore, it's normal vision.
Oh wow!
Imagine it kind of like that.
Cool. You're right. There's not a hint of magic to it.
It says yes. Peculiar, isn't it?
It's like a miniaturized seized weapon.
Yes, it does appear to be so. Now look, here's the fun part. He takes it in his hand, and the lieutenant kind of backs away with the box. And he just points it, he just holds it very carefully, and he points it at this dummy. It says, by the way, cover your ears.
So I don't cover his ear holes?
It's like, alright, let's see. Now I believe I'm supposed to put this here, and BOOM! This thing just explodes! And, all the elves around him, everyone just, jumps back for a moment. Some of them are pointing bows, but then quickly lower them.
Is he alright?
He's like, oh, my word, that was loud! And he's just, kind of rubbing his ears. Oh, They told me it was loud, but I had severely underestimated the loudness of that. Right. Let's
What?
take a look, shall we?
What?
What?
What exactly did you put in there?
What?
Sivart will try and motion with his hand, like, inside the wand.
He says, "Oh, I didn't do anything to it! No, this is just how it comes! One-time use, I'm afraid!" And you look at it, and, like, the tapered end is just absolutely shredded. Like, there's just metal bits just kind of tapered off. He says, "Apparently they can only use it once! But I fear to see what would happen if they perfected the technology!"
Well, certainly. Okay, did it do anything else, like, in the area?
If you look at the kind of straw dummy, you can see
Yeah.
that, like, the head is gone, it's on the ground, and there's several pieces of shrapnel inside this thing, and just, like, the leaves and branches are torn up behind it. I mean, this thing is absolutely shredded.
Yeesh.
So it's kind of like a mini magic cannon firecracker.
What's
That's
a
what I'm
cannon?
guessing. I'm going to... we have where we come from, these things that we launch off into the night sky in celebration. But nothing
I
this... We don't.
I never
We
said
have
gunpowder
magic.
was invented.
We have magic that casts...
Yes,
dancing-
it's like a fireball, but close range!
That's horrifying.
You can understand my concern. Hold on 1 second. And like this medic comes up to him, this cleric, and he like puts his hand on his head. He says, "Oh man, oh that's much better. I had this ringing in my ears." Right, as I
Well-
was saying. Works like a fireball at close range. Apparently they can only use it once, but to devastating effect, as you can plainly see.
Well, I don't know if we'll dig too deep on dwarven inventions. Well, you know how dwarves are. But if we see one, or we see a tinkerer that knows anything about it, we'll inquire about it.
Right. Well, you see, I'm telling you about this because of the implications of this ore. I mean, break it up, shove it into one of these doomy boomies, and then fire it off. You could easily kill off the Lord of the Forest. So you can see why I was concerned.
Jericho, what do you think?
I mean, it's certainly a dangerous weapon. I mean, something like that's easy to use for even an inexperienced soldier, but as long as the dwarves can't get through your barriers, I don't think they're going to be much of a threat to the Lord of the Forest.
Well, we did
Yes,
see those
as long as
dwarves
they
try-
can't get through our magical barriers. As long as they didn't have some sort of magical negating ore of some kind.
I see where your concern is coming from. Would you like us to do something in the Dwarven lands then?
Well, if you could, that would be excellent. I actually had something in mind, but again, I can't force you to do anything.
I would hope you wouldn't intend us to sneak something in that would be highly destructive.
No. Unless you consider yourselves highly destructive, then well, I'm not exactly saying no.
We are there on a negotiation mission, nothing more.
Well, if you can get them to listen, that would be excellent.
Jericho, you know Dwarven?
Yeah? Didn't I just say that?
So
I mean,
he-
we did play puppet. That was fun.
Say, I thought I had made that relatively clear multiple times that I speak Dwarven.
Well, good. I guess you're best suited for the negotiation table then.
Sorry, typing numbers.
Nice.
All right, General. We will return after our negotiation mission and report back. Whatever happens.
Well, I wish you the best of luck.
Would it be too much to impose a form of transportation?
I mean, you've still got your caravan.
We do?
Remember,
he was
didn't take it from you. I mean, your horses are stabled.
He looks at everyone else.
I mean, we just were kind of ushered in here after Lord Valshala let us.
Perfect, then we'll use that.
I mean, you were the one that disappeared.
This is true. Will you point us in the direction of these stabled horses then?
No, but of course. Right this way. And he will, lead the way to the stables where your horses are being kept. They're kind of out running around, getting some fresh air, socializing with other horses.
Yes, I'll take the lead on driving this stupid...
Thank you. I never learned myself.
Always have to drive you around. I'm not a chauffeur.
He's the only one with a license.
He's the only one with the license. Wait, Oriel is trained too, isn't she?
Technically, yes.
Yes.
We've got another person with a license. That's why they get the front seat.
Alright, take a quick look at the survival map here. So you guys are there. I'm gonna go there. Okay. So the general says, well, be careful out there. And should you return, I believe the barrier will let you through. Now that you've come and met with Lord Bashala, we know who you are.
Thank you then.
I wish you good luck. You're definitely going to need it.
Gonna go talk to dwarves.
Sure.
Gonna go intimidate some dwarves.
Did they give us like a map or something on like how to get out of the forest, the correct direction?
If you want, they'll lead you out. Be like,
oh, perfect.
Head to this road, then take a southwest at this funny-shaped rock, and
may we get a guide?
A guide? As
A
in,
ranger, perhaps?
Like someone to lead you to the dwarves?
Just to the edge of the territory, and after that we'll make our own.
They'll easily, point you the way out. They're not gonna.
Oh, thank goodness!
They're not gonna be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna tell you because I'm an elf."
We got so lost coming in.
That's because you gotta get turned around.
Like a lot. Alright, I guess I'll leave it up to Agamemnon.
I do a quick Google search here. Alright.
Alright, away we go.
Alright, the party begins their journey out to the forest. We'll move to the map.
Yay! Oh, we get to see another bridge.
Eventually, yes. By the way, make sure all your HP is up to speed and your...
Oh, good point. Thank you for that.
Your spells and your abilities and your... Dang it. You know what you're do.
Cool.
Oh, come on, roll 20. Why you do this to me?
It wants to fight us.
Oh, that's good. Okay, let's do this. Fine. Okay, we'll do it that way. We'll do it that way. Roll 20. Okay, let's see. And the magical forest ambience begin the traveling with the cart ambience with the other music. There we go. Good enough.
Back on the road again.
You begin your journey towards the Dwarven Kingdom to perhaps try and negotiate with them a peaceful resolution. As you are on the
Jericho,
road,
I have a question.
Yes.
With all of this ore between you and I, or between all of us, I think we do have enough to make a weapon.
I mean, potentially, but as far as I know, none of us have any particular skill with forging.
Agamemnon, do you know any other forges? Smiths, that's the name.
I mean, he knows one.
Other than Gavlin. But I'm not allowed in that forge.
Well,
There's no way your wife would be trained in this sort of technique, though, would she?
Jericho, that's racist.
My wife
Actually,
making
it's
one of
not.
these doomies.
Well, I wasn't necessarily.
How dare you?
I wasn't thinking of making a boomy.
I'm done talking to you.
He was
We
thinking.
could make-
He was talking about
Like, blade.
using the Jurasaur.
Oh, well.
An anti-magic sword or a spear or something even would certainly be helpful at some point.
I don't know none about those woman things.
I bring it up in essence the exact same reason we have the Rod of Aquatic Dominance with us and hidden.
Hmm.
So we have the ore, and better us having it than anyone else.
Indeed.
I was mainly asking Agamemnon because I was thinking of forging a weapon specifically for you.
Go on.
We use the ore and forge a weapon that you're trained in. I can't lie, you're the greatest one to stand up front, and your blades meet the enemy first every time.
My
Except for
wife
you're
does not
exclusively.
forge anything for me. She never has or will.
She
She's
makes him
stubborn.
pay full price for it.
Jericho, we're heading into the Dwarven territory. They know how to forge.
Right. However, we're also kind of going with the intention of getting them to stop forging weapons out of Juris.
Agreed. We will do both.
I'm just gonna interject here and say that you have no intelligence that says they're forging weapons out of Jurasaur.
I mean,
Well, the Doomy Boomies, though, right?
No, because when
Yeah,
you looked
the
at
Doomy
it,
Boomy
it
didn't
didn't
have- yeah.
a negative aura. It just had no aura.
no.
Okay, sorry, I guess I misunderstood. So the Doomy Boomies aren't powered by the Juris.
No, it's just you can shove it, you can break it up and shove it inside one of them, and then fire it off to kill magical beings.
So,
Okay, so you're just using it like shrapnel at
Yes.
that point.
Yeah.
nah.
Sorry for the
Okay,
misunderstanding.
gotcha.
Sivard only made the assumption because of what the general said about the dwarves using them to make weapons. So Sivard's just like, dwarves and smith stuff. Maybe they could smith the weapon.
They apparently know how. You just don't know if they have it or not. Because
Well-
dwarves can forge anything.
There you go.
That's
Written in
racist.
stone itself.
I mean, I'd still would prefer if she's at all capable. Anything that your wife would make, I'd be more inclined to trust than something the dwarves would make for us.
Yes, let's waste a lot of time and go back to Earthcut. But I'm
Well,
sure she could find a way to do it when we get back.
I was mainly asking personally for this if we could keep it out of. I'm guessing that it's bad stuff since it had to be smuggled out of Earthcut. So any traditional places or smiths, if we start flashing this around, people are going to start asking questions.
Then I wouldn't involve my wife in anything like that.
But the dwarves, they could do it.
We'll think on it anyway. At the very least, maybe if not a weapon, a shield egg?
It's the material that's the problem.
He's saying he
Right.
doesn't want to involve his wife in this business.
No, yeah. I'm just saying, I'm thinking about what we could try and use the ore for if we ever find someone to make anything out.
Jericho, what would we do? What would we do with a magic-eating shield?
You can't think of a few uses for an anti-magic shield, Savart?
Oh no, this fireball is coming towards. Just kidding!
Good thinking, Jericho. I did not think of it that way.
You said it yourself. I mean, Agamemnon is kind of our first line of defense. Anything we can do to help him, stand against the tide of magic users, that's going to be the best for all of us.
Out of character, you could just make me a boomerang shield made out of this stuff, and then I could toss it like Captain America and use my shield defense at a distance.
But we can't enchant it to come back.
Oh, that will just be skill.
No, you should make a boomerang sword. Boomerang sword? What's that? Boomerang sword?
Yeah, usually if you want the boomerang to come back after hitting something, you gotta get it enchanted. We can't enchant magic-eating stuff.
You guys are level 8, right?
7.
7, okay.
Layla, Oriel, any ideas what else we could do with this ore?
I mean, a shield sounds like a good idea.
I agree. It's far more benign, and especially when we return, the elves are not going to be too happy if we come in doing exactly what they were worried about.
Right.
All right.
I was gonna say, if it comes from under the sea, I mean, Layla, have you heard anything about this orb specifically?
It's a good
Liberal
question.
Intelligence. Unskilled.
I'm having a brain fart.
Go to skills and it's down near the bottom.
God bless. Thank you.
I'm on a constant brain fart right now, so I feel you.
Oh no.
Nope,
no.
never heard of it. It was unimportant to your day-to-day
It was
life.
pretty, but that's about it.
I mean, you couldn't make it in a necklace, so what's? I mean, you couldn't really make it in anything, so what's the point?
All right, Agamemnon. Good talk. Lead on.
It's not like I pulled over for this talk.
Yeah, you guys have still been walking.
He's just over the shouldering it.
Pretty much.
I can't find it. I know why. I'm trying to look up a monster. For reasons.
I was gonna say, are we going to get said monster?
Maybe.
I mean, do you have a mirror around? Because I know a pretty nasty one.
No, what?
That hurts Sivart on an existential level.
No, okay. That's what I did. I figured it out. It's been 3 weeks, but I figured it
Yay.
out.
Does it dig? Do we get to have 20 questions?
No, you don't get to have 20 questions. I see.
It's bigger than a bread box. Any
Any other kind of talky stuff you guys wanted to do.
They answered all my questions.
Do we have any ideas of how we're going to try to persuade these dwarves that don't like 3 of you?
Good question. Jericho, you're the expert on dwarves here.
Well, all I can say from my dealings with them before is they really do not like dimmies. If you kind of take that out of the equation and, meet through proxies or don't let them see your face, they're happy to do business with you, but the moment they see my white skin and horns, they don't want to really talk with me anymore.
Layla, Jericho, do you have any magic that might help us change what we look like?
I feel like you ask me that very frequently, and the answer has always been no.
Layla?
I think I have one for me, but that's not gonna help anybody else.
Yes, that's my problem too as well.
And I have some costumes, but again, Jericho still looks like Jericho, even if he's wearing a costume.
Well, Layla, I mean, if we could find some makeup and some better costumes, we might be able to cover enough to trick the dwarves.
Dwarves aren't very smart. You could say you were transformed by a vile elf. They'll believe you, and you're seeking to, No, that won't work.
Well, Agamemnon, you're a human, so I guess you'll have to train us a bit on the way of being human.
You just gotta be
human.
He's trying to give you this very in-depth explanation on how to be human, but I mean, it is Agamemnon.
Step 1, don't be a dimmy.
All right. So should we stop somewhere and get disguises first? Blast, we should have asked for them in the Elven with the elves.
I don't know that we're gonna really be able to stop anywhere.
I don't know any place out here this far either. It would be a massive detour. And as Agamemnon pointed out before, we don't have the time.
We could just cake you with red mud. It'll work.
We could
Just roll
detail the horn as a sword or dagger in his head.
An unfortunate accident, but he's fine. Missed his brain completely.
And that's our negotiator, because he knows Dwarven.
He got stabbed in the head and learned Dwarven.
Freak accident, but he's the best we've heard.
You can call me Phineas Gage.
Out of character, nobody suggested Cyrano de Bergerac.
Well, we've
Have
done that
Sivart in
one
back and
before.
me in front. We've done it before, true. It didn't work.
Well, that was me miming what Jericho was saying, so.
So, all we need is some kind of disguise for Jericho, because both Sivart and Layla can cover themselves. Agamemnon and Oriel are human, so they're just missing one form of disguise for their main negotiator. Let me see if I get a disguise kit. I have this sparkly dress from Layla.
You still have Layla's dress.
I'm going to pull it out and hold it up to Jericho.
Hold on, let me just throw this down. There we go. I'm just gonna throw this one in the stream so everyone can see it.
I mean, is this like Cloud's dress from Final Fantasy VII?
No, Sivart was in Layla's bedroom once and decided to raid her drawers and grab one of her dresses.
Nobody knows.
Oh, they know now.
Why would what? Why do you have that?
What do you mean?
That's mine.
I found this in the Triton Kingdom.
She very clearly recognizes it as her own.
Why were you in my room?
Layla, we had to search the entire castle, but I wasn't in your room.
That involved my
Roll deception
closet.
check.
Getting that
Layla,
deception.
roll insight.
Oh,
You know, you thought you swear that looked like your dress, but maybe he got it somewhere else. But it is very fancy. I mean, you know when you see a dress on the shelves and you're like, I've got that same dress.
she doesn't look super convinced, but maybe she's wrong.
She just drops it.
She's kind of, you know, she's kind of
What are
wary.
Layla and Jericho's heights?
Okay, I believe you.
Let's see. I am 5'8".
Where would I have put that? She's
Background.
4'8".
Wow, that's a massive change in a dress. Damn. Well, this won't work.
I mean, they make different length dresses. It might just be a T-length dress.
And we're showing off a whole lot of calf.
It's fine.
Jericho, want to try it?
You know, Lewick's really not that far from me.
Jericho, we have to find some kind of disguise from you. And we have to use what we have here in our packs.
I mean, do you? We could. I mean, if the rest of you are relatively sorted, you could always just be carrying around your demi slave to do your translating for you as right proper normal.
That's
It's said that
just
I like this
crazy
plan
enough
better.
to work. I like it.
Aggie could even beat me around a bit. Not that hard though, please.
Yes.
I only
Agamemnon.
have one setting.
Now, Aggie, you can behave.
Agamemnon, Jericho bruises easily.
I've noticed.
He's like a peach.
Definitely more of the bookish type.
Alright, do we have... Well... I don't know. How do people portray a slave? Do we need anything?
Shut up, slave. I'll tell you when we need stuff.
Good acting there. But how about... and then Sivart holds up a burlap sack. We could make some form of clothing for you.
Is
You
he
just
going to
drew.
become Dobby?
As great as this conversation is, we're going to take a quick break because dinner is ready on my side.
Oh,
So I'm going to
do
go
the
grab
same
some dinner real
thing.
quick. Then we're going to re-explore this line of thought, which could work. But until then, we will be right back. I'm just going to hit that, hit the BRB. Alright, so I will try to be back at 20 at the
Cool.
latest.
I'm gonna run to the store.
Alright, be right back. Okay, I am back.
Hello.
Has Sivart returned?
I am here. I'm not Savart, but I'm here.
Dinner.
Everyone is here,
Very well.
even the cat.
Let the ritual commence. Ow.
I need to prepare one thing, but let's get back right into it. I switch the BRB back to Roll20. As our players discuss what possible plans they have to get into the Dwarven Kingdom. As they are traveling with their horse and cart.
So, the plan is Agamemnon, Oriel, you'll take the lead. Leyland and I will disguise ourselves, and Jericho will be our demi-dwarven translator, or slave. Does this work for everyone?
I mean, I'm okay with it if Jericho is.
It was his idea.
Better that than the dress.
Savart puts the dress back.
Now, I will have to, just put things in your guys' head. We have to come up with a good story of what we're doing here.
Oh, that is right. I believe we are emissaries from the elves. Might not be the best way to immediately start it. We need to figure out what began the conflict. Well, we've got this ore. Perhaps we came here exactly for that, to get it forged. And there's nothing to say we couldn't go start asking around once we get there.
Oh, here's an idea. That shipment that we intercepted got intercepted. What if we're that shipment and we're just running a bit?
How long ago was that?
Before I fell asleep.
Pretty much.
Wow. Well, Jericho, I don't think we have enough of that. They did make it away with quite a bit of the ore. We only have a few armfuls of it.
Perhaps we're emissaries for a new deal or an earth cut. Maybe this is just what our sample to get them hooked on.
That's not a bad idea. And your background with marketing would help us with that.
Could try.
Layla, what do you think?
I think it's worth a shot as anything. If he's not willing to put the dress on.
Agamemnon, Oreo. They sound like a sound planned for you?
Yes. Do what you have to do.
Alright.
I have a question. This is up to you, Layla. I know you're a princess and your safety needs to be a concern, but maybe we could have you not disguised, since you could be the one that's you're a Triton. If the ore comes from underwater, maybe you're one of our sources.
I mean, that would work, but I really don't know anything about them. So,
Layla, all you have to do is pose as our smuggler. You're our original source.
okay.
We'll do all the talking, don't worry. And there you are. If you're a smuggler, so if they begin questioning you on its origins, it's time to get tight-lipped. That's your bottom line that they're asking about. Not something that needs to be shared.
At the very least, not with Lobies. That would be sure might be enough to get us an audience with someone more important.
I agree. So that would make Agamemnon and Oriel bodyguards?
Of course.
Muscle, anyway.
Muscle.
So, what does everyone like? Do you like average Joe human? And Savart will cast Disguise Self on him. Or perhaps the tanned farmer. And he'll do another one.
What are you doing?
He's just asking for opinions on what is a better looking human.
Definitely someone more rustic. I mean, you're from Leawick. Try and look like one of the sleazy dockhand.
Alright, I can do that. Alright, can I use Disguise Self to go for Dockhand that we saw at Leawick?
Sure.
Human.
You are
Cool.
now disguised as a human dockhand. Via the
Perfect.
spell Disguise Self.
So what is my role then?
Well, you're rather loquacious, Savart. Maybe you can be one of our front people.
Jericho, I don't know what that means.
You could be a talker. Maybe one of the salespeople.
Ah! Then Silver's gonna change his clothes to a more noble selection.
All right. So as you're disguising yourself, you kind of think of Jericho. Is this good? And he's like, maybe more of a talker. So it's like, so you just kind of shift the clothing on your thing. This is good.
Silver obviously not knowing anything about two humans. He's just trying everything. Long nose? No, bad. That will distract them. Maybe ears. No, now they look like an elf.
Try fancier shoes.
Ah, that's right. The shoes. I am too used to not wearing too much.
So you manage to cast this disguise self spell, and you give yourself, shoes and fancy clothes, and you disguise yourself as a human, kind of like a negotiator of types.
Perfect.
And it only uses one spell slot, just so we're clear.
I have the what's it called? The warlock ability. I can almost just keep casting it.
Well, all right then. Just keep doing it. See if I care.
But I still think we would do best for the human-looking members of our group to still definitely treat me and Layla pretty shit.
Isn't that you, Jericho? You're the only human-looking person in our group out of, well...
Agamemnon and Oreo sitting there, offended.
He's calling them human. They are human to him.
I think that Aggie, Ori, and Sivart should still treat Layla and Jericho rather poorly just to avoid making the dwarves too angry at it.
Ah.
Despite the disguises and the roles, just make sure you really make the dwarves believe we're being ground underfoot. Otherwise, they'll feel the need to do it for.
Agamemnon, I'll leave that one to you. I'm not too much for grinding the others under my feet. Or claws, if you will. Do I have feet or claws? I forget.
That's entirely up to you, really.
I'm gonna go with claws.
Yes, I feel like Dragonborn generally have claws.
Yeah, they do have claws. Yeah. I'm just confused with this disguise. It's hard to look at.
Right.
Agamemnon, do you know how long it would take us to get to the nearest dwarven outpost?
No, why would I?
Well, you are driving.
I think, Sivart, you have a map.
Yes.
Pretty sure you guys have a map.
I'm gonna take out the map. Roll it out.
Alright. You take out the map, and as we look on this map, that I am not looking at currently, but am now, you notice it may take you a couple days to get to the dwarven place. There is a human settlement somewhat nearby.
Should we make a stop before heading across the... What's the name of the bridge?
Well, it's technically an earth cut, so we will call it... Well, actually, no, that's part of... it's part of Leowick, because it's over the Uncanny Canal.
Yeah.
So it's probably something like Southbridge.
Lovely.
Like all one word. That's what it is. Southbridge.
So, as I can see, Grimbold is the closest dwarven settlement. Is that true?
Yes, that's what it's called. Grimbold.
Gotcha. So there's like a settlement right before the bridge. Do we have to go through it to get over the bridge?
You have to go through the settlement to get over the bridge, yes.
Alright.
But it's,
So
not,
we do
it's
have-
not like it's walled off or anything.
So we can make a short stop if we wanted to.
Dang it, that's why. GM layer. This text tool is just fighting with me. South Bridge. We'll make it blue. Okay, that was a terrible idea. Just make it black.
It's 14.
Make it bigger. I said I'll make it bigger. Good enough.
Be big. Big spell.
There we go.
Giantess.
There's South Bridge. Name of the town and the bridge. Oh no, not you. Go away. And this is called Grimbold. Grimbold. There we go.
Wimbledon.
There we go.
So, our first partial destination is Southbridge. And from the map, and from what I'm guessing, because I wasn't too sure from the Elven instructions, we have 40 or so miles. Agamemnon, how long will that take us to get there?
40 miles. Maybe 2 days.
All right.
As you guys are discussing, how to get to Southbridge, you look up. There we go. You look up from the map, and you see this dwarf kind of stand out in front of the road. And which I guess technically would be right
Agamemnon's like, oh, speed bump.
there. Arrange yourselves how you want. I just kind of threw you together there. Just in case combat is a thing that happens.
Yeah, just in case, he says.
Well, you guys got a solid plan in place. Depending on how you do this, it might work. This dwarf steps out from behind the bush. He says, "Oh, what do we got here?"
Agamemnon.
Can I help you, Demi?
What do you call me, you piece of... He starts swearing
Agamemnon
at you
will
in
stand
dwarvish.
all the way up, off the cart, in his plate mail, and try to stare down the individual.
He like throws down his war axe and he's like, beefing up his arms and he's like puffing out his chest. What you call me, you little man? Come over there and I'll beat you to the ground. Come on,
All right.
come
None
on.
of this is necessary.
Pulls his gloves off, throws it into the ground. Come on, let's go, you and me.
Sivart will hop off the car.
Oh, you
Agamemnon,
are a
that's-
piece of meat. Come on. Oh, you call me a demi. I'll call your mother a demi, you piece of... Come on, let's go. You and me.
Jericho is just in the back of the cart cursing Aggie's lack of intelligence.
Agamemnon, you were here on a different kind of mission, not to pick fights with every person we meet.
This is how you get a dwarf's trust.
All right, Agamemnon, at least fight him fisticuffs.
He
Agamemnon
threw
will.
his gauntlets off. He's like, put his dukes up. He's like, come on, let's go, like throwing some punches. You and me, let's go, boy. I'll show you. Call me a demi.
Sure, Eggy will fight him. Fisticuffs only.
All right, roll for initiative.
Fancy
Just
Sivart.
Aggie and this dwarf guy.
Just Aggie and the dwarf guy.
All right, you go first. As I activate the combat music.
We have a solid chance of this not turning into combat. It immediately becomes combat.
Agamemnon will move up and throw a small combination of attacks at the guy.
Up,
1-2
up, left,
punch.
right, down.
Yes.
Alright.
Am I proficient in punching people?
Yes, everyone's proficient and unarmed. It just does 1 plus strength. Okay, that is... Okay, I was looking at the wrong thing. Alright, so you punch him, deal 6 bludgeoning damage. He goes, oh, that's good hit! Come on, come on!
And I'll attack again. Oops, I didn't mean that one.
Just
Excuse
throw
me.
a glaive out. It's like, hey, that's cheating! You come out with another fist punch. Well, actually, the first one didn't hit. I lied. But this one does. You kind of sock him right in the side, and, you know, it kind of hurts. Because you just kind of punching his arm. He's like, oh, good hit! Come on! Come on! And he just, like, throws in a couple punches, a couple low punches at you. And... okay.
AC 13. Without armor.
Well, he's got his armor on, so you just don't have your shield.
Okay.
He's still, you know, even though you're in full plate, he's still like, oh, come at me, I'll punch you in the face. He just, like, kind of cracks his hand against you. Oh, son of a god, biscuit, I'll get you next time. Like, kind of, like, hurts his hand a bit, but then comes in with his other fists. Punches you in the side for 6 bludgeoning damage. And I gotta... there we go. Okay. He says, come on! Show me what you got! Come on!
Agamemnon's going to try and wrestle the fellow.
Just sit on him.
Alright, you attempt to grab him with athletics. And he will resist with his athletics. But he fails, and you kind of pick him up off the ground just a little bit. And he is grappled.
And that will end my turn.
Says, oh, let me go! Come on! I'll kick your shins off! Kind of flails at you with his legs. Manages to kick you right in the... kind of like knee you right in the nose. And he deals 7 points of bludgeoning damage. I mean, it's still just unarmed, so it's not much. But you do have a bit of a bloody nose now.
Agamemnon will try to take this to the ground while remaining standing, so he's going to try and trip the fella
Alright,
prone.
do athletics. He will have disadvantage to resist. Okay, so you managed to take him to the ground and wrestle him. You got him kind of pinned a little bit, but he's still thrashing around. It's like, oh, you want to play like that, do you? Come on, let's go! He's going to try and wrestle his way on top of you. Roll athletics or acrobatics to resist it. Alright, you managed to resist it. You still got it. He, like, tries to get his leg up and around you, but you manage to just sweep out from under him, and he loses his footing. And you're just kind of sitting there on the ground wrestling. And you have the advantage.
I try to exhaust him of his spirits by giving him some punches while he's on the ground. It's not dirty. It's
It's dwarven wrestling. I mean, come on.
Headbutt him!
Alright, you do manage to connect the first time. You just kind of punch him right in the head. And he just kind of says, oh, I'm gonna play like that on ya! Alright, let's go! He's kind of, you know, pinned to the ground. He's attacking you. He's got disadvantage. Because you've got him, you know, where you want him. Keep lowest 1, plus 7. And then the same thing again. I think it's Alt up, Control up. Oh, there we go. The same thing. He's trying to punch at you, but his arms are just too short to really get a good impact. Maybe he's tapping you a bit in the chest, but it's not doing any damage.
This was a good fight. Agamemnon will release him and just give him a lay on hands.
Says, oh, what do you think you're doing, lad? He comes in and goes for the punch. you'll get advantage on it. Because clearly he's not done fighting. He does 6 points of damage to you, bludgeoning damage. He just
Alright.
kind of spits out some blood from his mouth. He's like, "Come on, let's go! I'm not done with you yet!" And Agamemnon with the 1-2 just goes bam, bam, just knocks him upside the head. He goes, "Good pull!" He goes just kind of flies backwards a bit, gets knocked prone. And he just kind of falls on the ground. You just see him laying there alright, you win. Make it stop, please. Make it stop.
Agamemnon, that's enough. That's enough.
Make it stop, please. And he's just kind of laying down.
Sivar will come up and reach down to help him up.
Agamemnon's just kind of sitting there, just getting his arms up. It's like, "You want some more, huh? I can go all day." And so this dwarf leader is just laying down. It's like, "Oh boy, I can see my ancestors." And then Sivart, you kind of pull him up. He's still kind of dazed, so he doesn't. He doesn't really feel the claws.
I see you've met my bodyguard, Agamemnon.
He says, "Oh yeah, I'm met him." Spits out a tooth. "Oh, that's one heck of a arm you got there, boy." He takes the stance again and kind of gives you the light jabs into the side. He's like, "Oh, you fight like a dwarf, that's for sure. I'll let that comment slide for now. Alright, boys, come on out." And so you see these other dwarves kind of
Twice in one day.
Whoops. You shouldn't be called that. I don't want you guys to know what he is. See some dwarves just kind of pop out of the brush. And they're like, "You okay, boss?" He's like, "Oh, nothing, a good stiff drink will serve out. Oh, I haven't had a fight like that in a while. So, what are you boys doing in Dwarven lands?"
Well, we come seeking an expert smith.
"Oh, well, you come to the right place. We dwarves are actually quite good at that. Good at fighting, too." He just kind of puts up his dukes again. "I'm gonna know around with you any day, lad."
Perfect. And you'll be able to give us directions.
"Oh, I suppose I could. Where are you headed?"
Looks at Agamemnon. Agamemnon, I'm not too versed in the Dwarven lands. Where are we headed?
Why would I know?
Sivar will turn back. Slave!
Yes, master.
Bring the map!
Are you sure you want me out of the cart, master?
Out of the cart now! Bring the map!
He'll get out and kind of slump, very hunched shoulders over with the map.
Perfect.
And as you're walking towards you, this dwarf leader, this guy is like, "Oh, tieflings, gotta be careful of them. Consorting with devils and whatnot."
Sivar will hold up the map. Yes. Grimbold. That is it.
"Oh yeah, Grimbold. Nice place. Beer's not very great though."
Well, then you won't mind us giving us directions then.
"Oh
And
yeah, sure. Well, you just want
Perhaps.
to head east over to South Bridge, and then you want to take the South Bridge, and just follow the trail right to Grimbold. Of course,
Perfect.
might run into a bit of a dwarven army here and there, but just let them know you're looking for a blacksmith. You'll probably find a good one in Southbridge."
Might you know any named ones?
"Oh, well, there's Teely and Tooley and Dooley and Feely and Fooly And Boomy,
I'm.
Boomy's a bit of a crazy one, though. You probably don't want to talk to him.
I'm.
Is he the one
The
that
Scraven
made
and
the-
Draven and Craven, they're brothers, you know.
Perfect. Slave, back in the cart.
Yes, master.
Agamemnon, we should be going then. We have a new name. Doomy. Yes, that's the one.
Oh, I'd stay away from him. I'd try Scraven, Draven, Craven if I were you.
Is that one person or three?
Well, there are three different brothers. They were in the forge.
I'll ask specifically for them then.
Excellent. I hope you. Oh, and by the way, like you guys get back in your cart and you're kind of, you're making your way, and he's kind of walking along. He's like, "So why do you need a dwarven forger, anyways? Can't you find blacksmiths all over the world?"
We have a unique ore that I've never seen before.
Right. He's kind of like he nudge, wink. He's like, "Oh, right, gotcha. Sorry to pry."
Perfect. Alright. So
Right.
never help back on.
Be careful out there. Bunch of bandits. There could be bandits or people wanting to steal your gold. You know, typical stuff.
Agamemnon, let's move.
Yeah!
And you just make your way, down the road. They don't harass you at all. They just like, you just-
Agamemnon, I didn't know you knew Dwarven.
he doesn't.
What?
I know, that's the joke.
Oh, he knows how to talk to dwarves.
with your fist.
It's
Just
just
try to avoid
a less
combat.
intimate version of what my wife and I do.
Oh. Alright.
Oh, that was great. Oi, what are you doing there? Let's try to avoid combat. What did you say, Demi? Oh, come at me! I'll gonna punch you in the face! I think I need a break from that. That used up like all of my DM powers, and now I need a break. Right, so the party makes their way towards Southbridge. After traveling for a few hours, the night begins to fall, and you eventually have to make camp before reaching Southbridge. But this camp is near, a well-traveled road, so there aren't any dangers of monsters or anything. So no watches will need to be made, because I am a generous DM. I mainly just want to get the story going along. So you long rest. Your HP is renewed. Your spells are restored. Abilities and whatnot.
Oh,
It is a new
You
day.
have two choices, yes or yes.
Oh
And they're both going to meet.
my word! I just now saw that.
okay. We gotta do some good shit today, guys.
We gotta use this.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Okay. You make your way. You start making your way towards Southbridge, and at around midday, you're making your way, and you can see a lot of dwarven patrols, and they're not giving you too much hassle, since Sivart can continuously cast Disguise Person because of his nifty warlock ability. He's just kind of keeping that on. And Jericho and Layla are staying out of sight, so no one really gives you much trouble. And around noon, you eventually arrive at Southbridge. And the increase in dwarven population is staggering. But eventually you make your way to Southbridge and come up to the city gates, kind of like a wooden palisade. As you come up, a guard shouts from the tower, "Halt! Who goes there?" Who goes there?
It is me?
Hello, me. What is
I
your
come
business
in search
Southbridge?
of a smith for an unusual material.
Okay. Do you have a traveler's pass or merchant's permit?
What? We needed those in these lands.
Well, it just facilitates entry. One moment. He just kind of like yells down at someone. Hey, Paul! Need some puddles out there, run them down! One moment. And like this sort of guy walks out of this door nearby, not like the big doors. And then he like comes up to you, he's like, "Oh yes." He's like, "Oh yes." It's kind of a thin, wiry man, got a bit of a wispy beard. He's like, "Welcome to Southbridge. What is your purpose for visiting?"
We're here to find a gentleman named Herbadurbadurбadoo.
I'm not sure I know of this person, but just visiting then.
No, we're here on business.
Oh, business. What sort of business?
The mining and smithing kind of business.
Oh, mining and smithing. So, would that be in trade or would that be in weapons?
Trade.
Trade. All right, fill that out. How many are in your crew?
Do demis count?
Yes, unfortunately, demis do count as a whole person for the purposes of tax reasons.
Then we have 5.
5 of you. All right. Let's see. 2
But
horses.
one is rather short. Could she count as half?
He just like kind of gives you a look like, really? It's like you're not the first person to try and pull this. He just like gives you a glance like, "Oh, this again." Let's see. 2 horses, horse-drawn cart. Might I be able to inspect the goods real quick?
Slave!
Yes, master.
Bring some of the goods.
The special goods, master.
Yes, the special goods.
Special goods.
Jericho will get out of the cart and he'll have one of the special ores in his hand.
Says, "Oh, right, Jurasaur. Oh, that worthless crap. All right, well, suppose you found a good buyer for it then."
That is why we're here.
Yes, people will buy anything nowadays, I suppose. All right, let's see. 5 of you. All right, who is the leader of this caravan?
That would be I.
I. How do you spell that?
Sir Pennywise.
Sir Pennywise. Let's see. Would that be with 2
Sir
N's
I
or 1?
Pennywise.
Would that be with 2 N's or 1?
2.
2 N's.
Of Earthcut.
Pennywise of Earthcut. There we go. Alright. For the persons, it is 1 gold piece each. For horses and stabling, we shall provide that for 5 gold pieces per horse. As for the wagon, there is a road toll of 1 silver piece per axle. So that brings the total to 15 gold pieces and 2 silver pieces for entry into Southbridge.
Alright, Silver will pay that.
Excellent. And he just kind of like writes it down, like rips off a piece of paper. And is like, "Here is your merchant's pass for good for 1 month in Southbridge. Should you wish to do more trading, make sure to please see your local merchants association for a more permanent pass.
You've
Please
wasted
do enjoy
enough
your
of
moment
my
in
time.
Southbridge."
How much silver was that again?
2 silver.
2 silver. There we go. Alright. You've wasted enough of my time. Let's continue. Agamemnon. And then
yes.
sort
one
of hop
moment.
back on.
Yeah.
I shall open the gates momentarily. And like he goes back inside the door, and like you hear this behind the wall.
Open up the door, you stupid kid!
Says, "Oh, I'm opening it! I'm opening it!" So eventually, the gate opens up. It's just like a big wooden gate that swings open and lets your cart into Southbridge. And there's guards. There's guards there. They're like, "Welcome to Southbridge. Cause no trouble. Glory to the Stotska."
Perfect.
Papers, please.
Papers, please.
Papers,
We
please.
We just did that.
So you make it into Southbridge. It's a fairly big human settlement. It's not like huge. Probably a bit bigger than Fort Freybury. Bunch of dwarves hanging around. There's there's like a blacksmith on every corner.
Nice. I'll hop back into the wagon. This will be basically our halfway point before Grimbold. Is there anything I should buy here? Any suggestions?
Well, my lord, we could always use additional materiel and provisions if we're going to continue.
Layla?
I don't think so.
Sivart will lean up front. Agamemnon, Oriel, should I stop for any extra supplies?
I don't think we need much of anything.
Alright. Sivart will come back in.
Well, there is another thing I thought of.
Yes?
Maybe not goods, but we could always try and put some ears to the ground, see if any dwarves have passed through here going for the elf lands. They're probably coming through Southbridge.
Alright. Good point. They'd have to get their, forces, even scouting forces through here. Layla?
Mm-hmm.
Think you and I in disguise could go gather enough information, see if we can find out a bit more of the dwarves?
I guess we can give it a shot.
Alright. Sivart will lean back into the front and explain the plan to Agamemnon and Oriel.
Which is?
That Sivart and Layla are going to use their disguises and go gather a bit of information in Southbridge and then return to the cart.
Don't get caught.
I would hope not, but you'll hear my screams if I do. Wait!
Take
it wouldn't
my
be
shield.
my first time.
And he hands over the sentinel shield.
He's got like full noble clothes on, and he's like holding it in a way that he's like, I don't know what to do with this.
Just put it under your cloak. Nobody will notice.
Hey, Agamemnon, this thing's huge compared to me, even. I may be big, but you're bigger.
As a note, disguise self does work on your clothing and armor and other belongings on your person.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't,
just.
but sentinel shield needs attunement anyway, I think.
Yeah, Sivart has no idea how to use it.
How do you use this?
Hide behind it. That's it. Okay.
It's got like peepholes in it.
So I guess we'll stop at a. I almost said shelter. Stable.
As you're making your way in, kind of one of the porters, I guess they're called, at one of the stables, is like, he kind of leads you, like, right this way, sir, because he sees that you've got like one of these writs of passage. It's like, first few days of stabling are free. After that, you'll have to pay.
Oh, we don't plan to stay long. Just enough to tidy a few things in the wagon.
Oh, very well, very well. Please do come back if you need our services.
Alright, Sivart will hop back into the back. Layla, how about us, I guess a dwarven disguise.
Alrighty, I can give that a shot.
I mean, you're small enough.
Thanks.
I'm glad
You're the one
that
made your character
disguise self.
5'1".
doesn't change your voice at all. So it's going to be the squeaky Triton voice in a dwarven body.
In the dwarven, you're right.
It's like,
All right.
what's with him? Hasn't got his beard yet.
Try and have something that Sivart could like. Well, wait. Sivart is still going to change. He's going to stay nobleman, but change to a different form. Any other different looking one.
Alright, what are you gonna do?
He's altering himself slightly. So, still nobleman, just different looking face, different looking clothes.
Alright, roll a stealth check for me.
Dun.
Wow, apparently it's gonna storm really bad here. Later tonight.
Do I have advantage with my disguise?
No. You are out in the open.
Aw. Oh no, I'm in the back of the. I'm in the back of the wagon.
Oh, okay, then. Yeah, that's right. Then you're fine. I was gonna say, somebody could see you change disguises. But
Yeah, that was.
If you're in the
that's
back
what I
of
was
the
trying to avoid.
It's an
kamikaze
open
fly! Help!
Help!
Oh,
You can still talk. I don't need to help you yet.
oh, that is true.
It was just a tiny assassin.
Oh, he rolled a crit. Sneak attack. Got right
Ah,
in
you're
the
not. You're not dead, so he failed.
foot. Still.
Maybe they were just trying to send the message.
They were trying to send a message.
You killed my mother!
Probably.
What could it mean?
Alright, so
Okay.
what do you shift to?
Again, still noble human, just different clothes and different face.
Okay. It is done. You shift to a different...
Oh god!
The flies are rising up.
Flies are attacking.
Oh, that one was just trying to talk while drink. Don't do that.
It's a coordinated assault.
Assassins everywhere.
Quick, start breathing through your nose. Put your hands over your mouth. Protect yourselves.
Layla, try and match something close to this.
Alrighty, she'll make sure that she somewhat matches him, but maybe doesn't look, like his twin or anything.
Alright, are you casting a spell or are you using a disguise kit?
I think I'll use disguise self.
Okay. So you disguise yourself to look much like Sivart.
Perfect.
Do you want to be male or
Alright.
female?
Doesn't change your voice.
I'll be female then.
Okay. Power is flickering. Alright, so Rin and Rainbow are currently in a thunderstorm, so hopefully you guys stay safe.
Yes, please.
So if they get cut out, we will know why. Right. You are both now disguised.
Alright. I will escort Layla out of the wagon, and then I guess have idle chatter till we walk far enough away from the wagon. So, I guess to a bar or something.
Are they dwarven twins or human?
Oh, no, Sivart's human, Layla's dwarven.
I don't
Oh,
think
okay.
they were twins. I just think they were kind of like match this outfit, not like match what it looked like.
I thought they were going to be dwarven twins, and I searched Google for it, and I got something, but it wasn't what I thought it was.
That is why you have to be very careful with your Google image searches, especially with D&D Google searches.
It's a landmine.
I'm gonna post it in chat.
everywhere. Oh, that's not bad.
Oh, okay. I thought it was worse.
What were you thinking?
Well, it's the internet.
Come on,
what else
guys,
was I thinking?
gutter.
Okay, so we have a disguised Sivart and a disguised Layla traipsing around through Southbridge, while Oriel and
Okay.
Agamemnon watch the cart.
I guess we'll just both split up from there and gather information.
All right. How do you want to gather this information? Where do you go? What do you do? Who do you talk to? What do you say?
Sivar will split up. Before. Layla, where do you plan to search?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Do you want to try the establishments around here? And I guess I'll move over to the markets.
I would like to
Sure,
remind
that sounds
Layla
good.
that she is a bard, and therefore good at talking with people.
She is good at talking. I am not good at talking.
Yes.
But yes.
The character, yes. Player, no.
So, bars,
Bars, pubs, inns.
canteen.
I'll do the bar. Why not?
All right, then I'll head over to the market. I will meet you, say, 3 or 4 hours from now, back at this position here, and we'll change and then head back over to the wagon.
Alrighty, I'll see you then.
All right. I guess Sivar will make his way to the market.
All right. We'll start with Sivart, then move on to Layla. Sivart, you head into the market. You can see plenty of stalls, plenty of people plying their wares. It's a very busy day in Southbridge. Can't believe I forgot that name.
All right. I guess Sivart will start talking to the merchants first about shipments moving through there, and then he'll lead into a conversation that is how many soldiers have gone through here, and then they'll just be asking information like that.
All right. First, do an unskilled charisma check. Just kind of
Okay.
schmooze the merchants.
Yeah.
All right, so
Warlock
you're
power.
you've got this kind of nobility kind of about you, and no one's seen you before, so they're they want to make a good impression because maybe you'll buy some stock. And eventually you kind of strike up conversations with some merchants about like how trade moves through here, and mostly it goes through the Uncanny Canal, gets docked at Southbridge, and then it can be moved back up the Uncanny Canal. So a lot of back and forth between here and Leawick.
Very familiar with that.
Alright, so now roll an investigation check to kind of work in the whole military question about the army moving through.
Haha, 21.
So you kind of adding it in, like how are things going here? What's trade like? What do you sell? Any problems with the military? You're very smooth about it. And a lot of people are going to tell you, no, we haven't had much trouble with the military. There have been a lot of dwarves coming through, but doesn't look like too many soldiers. They mostly leave us alone. Heard they're starting up a war with the elves for some reason. Dwarves are crazy.
Huh. Alright. Cool. Alright, with that,
You ask me, son. You stay out of the dwarven kingdoms. They're crazy, I tells you.
they might be crazy, but they are hell of a smith.
Oh, I never said they were. Just saying stay away from Grimbold. Those dwarves are crazy.
I thank you for the advice.
You're kind of like walking away. He's like got like that crazy eyes. Like, you heard me, boy. They're crazy.
Starts moving away faster.
Lockets, two for gold. Just goes back to selling his wares. With that, we'll move over to Layla, heading up some of the bars and pubs. Layla, go ahead and roll a straight charisma check, and if you want to use a bardic inspiration, you may do so with advantage.
Yeah, let me go ahead and add an inspiration.
Alright. Roll again, see if you get higher.
Apparently not.
Alright. As you're going around kind of the bars and pubs, you can see a lot of them kind of already have someone playing around, but if they don't, you just kind of jump in for a bit and just play a quick song. And, you know, you're not like charging anyone, you're just kind of like saying, thank you. It's like, I'll be here all day. You know, just giving the people, you know, a little uplift. Just feel better about themselves. So they're more inclined to talk to you about, you know, whatever information you're trying to glean from them. What is it you want to learn from your investigations?
Just trying to see, like, where they're headed, like, why they're doing what they're doing. The dwarves,
Alright.
I mean.
So first, roll me a performance check. DC of 13. And if you succeed, you will get advantage on your investigation check.
Oh no.
Can I portent that?
You cannot see her,
Okay.
unfortunately.
My disguise has clearly hindered my ability to
Well,
do
you
what
kind
I know what I'm
of start
supposed
singing a bit, and then you realize you're supposed to be a dwarf, so you kind of start singing more like a dwarf. So you're like, how does a dwarf sing? And you're kind of like, oh, I heard the lady back in the... And you're trying to change your voice as best you can, but it's not working. So you just kind of like, just kind of like clear your throat, and then just do then just start doing music without the voice. But it's not detrimental. I mean, you're still being kind of very charismatic. So just roll investigation normally. Alright, so you're able to talk with a bunch of people and try and glean some information about why the dwarves are attacking the elves, or... And what else? Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you try and, you know, glean this information off of people, but a lot of like humans, and there's not too many elves. Maybe there's some half elves here and there, but they can't really give you too much information. But there are some dwarves around, and I heard they made some type of new weapon in Grimbold. Think they could help it turn the tide against the Lord of the Elves. He like takes a sip of his ale. Oh, if you ask me though, it's kind of a bad idea. Them elves, they're fierce fighters. Fought against one once. Did I tell you about that time I killed that high elf? He threw a fireball at me, and like one of the guys is like, not this story again.
Oh no.
He says, look, listen to me. Them boys up in Grimbold, they're always coming up with something new, trying to take over the Elven Kingdom. Heck, if I know why they want it, there's no ore there. At least I don't think. Takes another sip of his ale. You got me as to why they want to attack the elves. I mean, myself, I don't like the elves, but I'm not about to go to war over it. Ugh. Barmaid, another round! So basically the information you get is most people don't really know why the dwarves are kind of becoming more aggressive towards the elves. But they do know that, you know, it's happening. Like, the war is probably going to break out soon, if it hasn't already.
Alrighty then.
And most people just attribute it to dwarves loving a good fight. Did either of you want to learn anything else?
Nope, that's all I needed.
I think we're set.
Alright. Scene shift over to Agamemnon, Jericho, and Oriel. Did you guys want to do anything before these guys came back?
No, just guarding the cart.
And I am a villain in these parts.
Well, and the Jericho.
Alright, so a man comes up to your cart. He's like, hey, wanna buy a timepiece?
What's a timepiece?
I'm glad you asked. He opens up his coat, and there's various array of these strange devices that have a bunch of levers and dials on them. It's like, good for telling time. Yes, these are all high-quality items that I sell for
Time?
cheap.
I know what time it is. And he looks up in the sky.
Roll a Constitution save.
Right at the sun.
Ah, it burns!
Roll a Constitution save for me.
Burn o'clock.
Okay, you take 1 fire damage directly in your eyes, and now roll me an investigation check.
My corneas will have to be replaced.
Nah, you can just heal it with cure wounds or something. You'll be fine.
Alright, magical healing.
Yeah.
That's what we do here.
Agamemnon, it is currently about 1:30 p.m.
I'd say it's about 1:30 p.m., but I don't know what any of those numbers mean.
Sure, it's... He, kind of, glances down at this, all these little dials and stuff he has in his coat. And he's like, sure. And then he, stops for a moment. He's like, oh, wait, you are... How did you do that? Just, closes his coat and looks at you warily. And he says,
It's
how
a
did you
skill
do that?
one picks up above ground.
Well, I can see you wouldn't be interested in a timepiece, but perhaps maybe I could interest you in some other jewelry and trinkets. Excuse me. Oh, this is killing my throat. He opens
Return
up
of
the
the
other
Fly.
side of his coat. He's got necklaces. He's got baubles and trinkets. All high quality goods, I can assure you.
No, I'm fine.
And you, madam, anything?
No, thank you.
All right, but you're missing out on a deal. He just kind of closes his trench coat, and he just walks down the street some more. Sees another couple people, and you hear him, "Hey, kids, wanna buy a timepiece?" After that exchange, not much else happens. You can, maybe there's some more street peddlers or some beggars. But eventually, Layla and Sivart make their way back to the cart.
Alright. I, out of the view of the public, will go back to normal.
The normal.
Nah, screw that. Alright, I'll go back to human nobleman. Number 1.
Okay. Nobleman A.
Sir I Pennywise.
That's
stealth check.
right.
Roll a stealth check with advantage.
Super stealthy. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So you managed to shift this form almost immediately. Anyone that was looking at you, they blink and you've changed forms, and then it's kind of wait, was he always wearing that? If anyone saw you, that's what they saw. But you're pretty sure nobody saw you. Not even Layla. Layla's like, hey, Sivart, Sivart? And then, he shows up, he's like, you show up right next to her in Nobleman A outfit, and you're like, right here.
Right here. Layla, did you learn anything?
A little bit. And she'll kind of try to. My words aren't working today. She'll talk to him about it.
Convey the
Gotcha.
information. Yeah.
Yes.
I understand how you feel because sometimes I can't word either.
All the wording is gone. Biscuit, I'm sorry.
All right.
Perfect. I've learned very much the same thing. If the dwarves are starting a war, they're being very, very quiet about it. Which isn't like dwarves at all.
No, they're not being quiet about it. They're being very open. They're just not being specific about why they're doing it.
Well, Sivart didn't know that. Remember what
They're being hush-hush about the reason for the war.
Yeah, that's basically what Layla learned. Is like, people know they're going to war, but they just don't know why.
Alright. I'll convey that to the rest of the group.
Well, fortunately, it doesn't sound like we're gonna be able to get much more information for the elves unless we go deep.
Agreed. To Grimbold it is. Anything happen while we were away? I'm sorry, cart duty must have been very boring.
Somebody tried to solicit us.
As you're looking at Agamemnon, he's got his eyes closed as he's looking at you.
They tried to sell us a device to tell time. It was...
Can't they
Useless.
just... I was going to say, can't they just look up and count?
Right? I don't know what these people are on. Looking for a simplistic lifestyle. Can't even tell the time.
Alright. Agamemnon, do you want us to rest here? Or do we want to try and make a break for Grimbold as quickly as possible?
It's up to the horses.
I think the horses could at least use a night of rest.
Alright.
Does anyone know speak with animals?
Wait. Let's see what spells Sivart might or might not have picked up. No talking with the animals. Nope,
The
no,
only
none
person
of that.
could would be Jericho and Layla. 'Cause they
That's
bards.
right, Bard spell.
I do not. I do not have that.
I don't
That's okay.
think I do either.
It would
Can't
just be a
chat
nice,
with the horses.
Just be a nice little aside.
Horse speak. Haha.
All right, so you guys decide to spend the night in Southbridge.
Yep.
You managed to
Gotta
find
get us. Getting in.
good accommodations. You can have good accommodations, or you can have common accommodations, or you can have poor accommodations.
Well, Sivart's still in noble form. So what is the good, like the best accommodations cost?
I think the best accommodations are a platinum piece per night.
Egad.
That's like
Sivart's just like tearing at his eyeballs, looking at the freaking thing.
that's like the suite, basically.
All right, what's like 20 gold?
Platinum is one platinum is 10 gold.
All right, there. So then one plat.
You're going to buy the suite for yourself.
No, and I want the. I also need something very much cheaper for the bodyguards and the those things, the
Okay.
dimmies.
So modest is 1 gold, comfortable is 2 gold, wealthy is 4 gold, and aristocratic, aka nobility, is 10 gold minimum.
All right, 10 gold for me, and 1 gold for the rest of them, and they have to share it.
Okay, this actually instays are a bit cheaper. Okay, so comfortable is 8 silver, wealthy is 2 gold, and aristocratic is 4 gold.
All right, aristocratic, 4 gold.
Do you want to maybe try to negotiate the price?
No, I'm in disguise.
You should try to negotiate the price.
Fine, I'm gonna negotiate the price. I guess I'm a miser. Alright, how do I do that?
You come into like one of the aristocratic inns. He's like, let's get an inn name, shall we?
That random inn generator.
Well, if it'll load. Fantasy name generator. Fantasy setting. Inns. Here we go. Someone roll a d10 for me. Two. Okay. It's working. Sort of. Huh, okay. You come to an inn that looks very fanciful. It is called the Blessed Tome.
Yeah. Alright.
As soon as you come up, a valet essentially comes up and says, "I'll take it from here, sir."
Perfect.
Then
Everyone off.
he like takes the cart. Once you guys get off, he takes the cart and kind of drives it around back. I mean, this is a very nice place. There's a water feature. There's
Wow.
a garden in the back. There's people attending to the door. And they open the door to your head inside and it says, "Welcome to the Blessed Tome. Will you be staying the night for you and your companions?"
I will.
Excellent, excellent. 5 of you, I see. That will be 50 gold pieces. No more.
Ha ha ha! No, not for them. For me, of course.
Oh, of course, I see. Then I shall prepare the modest rooms for the servants, then.
Perfect.
Let's say, total, that comes to 30 gold pieces total.
Can I barter it down?
Hold on, I'm gonna whisper you something.
Of course, you could offer me a discount.
Says that will be 30 gold pieces, sir.
Well, don't you know who I am? I'm Sir Pennywise.
No. Kind of like adjusts his glasses. I'm afraid I don't know who you are.
Slave, come forth and explain to this simpleton who I am.
Yes, master. Excuse me, your kind dwarf. This is Sir
This is a
Pennywise.
human, actually.
Oh,
He's,
sorry.
This is like dressed up in a suit. It's very nice. He's got like a butler outfit. Got gloves on. Very snooty.
Yes, this is my lord Pennywise. He is one of the esteemed shipping moguls that deals with both Lewick and Earthcut. He's here on very important business.
Very important.
So I Pennywise. I don't believe I've heard of you.
Disgusting.
Then you must not have heard of very much.
All right, away with you.
He seems sort of offended. It's like, I do apologize, sir. I'm afraid you must be new to the market. I did not recognize you right off the bat. But oh dear me. Well, I suppose I could offer you a bit of a discount.
Perfect.
29 gold pieces for the lot of you.
That eye twitch. Fine. 29 it is. Alright, I'll pay that.
Okay. You pay it, and you get seen to your rooms. They are fairly nice accommodations. Pillows are quite fluffy, and even the servants' quarters, well, not as grand as Lord Pennywise's suite. They are still quite lovely.
Like Sivar gets in, like closes the doors, walks into this like massive room, and he's like, I hate myself now.
It's a massive room. There's a heated bath. There's a huge window that you can easily draw the curtains on in case you don't want people to know you're Dragonborn.
Red velvet? Does it have red velvet?
Sure. I mean, this is
Awesome.
like swanky.
There's a bathtub in here. It draws its own water.
There's a bathtub. There's even this newfangled device called a toilet.
Ooh, an upgrade from a hole in the ground.
And just all kinds of really just fancy things. 40-inch plasma screen TV.
Sivar's just going down. What's this? What's this? What's this?
Eventually, you're hanging out and you hear a knock at the door.
Sivar straighten up, look in the mirror real quick to see the disguise is still on.
Disguise
and
is
then
still on.
Go back over the door and open it up. Yes.
I do hope everything is to your accommodations. The accommodations are to your liking.
Come back in 2 hours, and I'll make my decision then.
But of course, sir. Should you need anything, simply ring the bell on the nightstand.
Looks over at the bell. Perfect. Now leave me be. He'll shut the door.
And you just hear him walking away.
Whew. How are the others doing?
They've got nice rooms. Definitely better than anything they've stayed in, except maybe Layla, because she is royalty. But it does have
She's
a
got a
bath.
speed.
Oh, yes.
Alright.
I guess sleepy time?
The reason I wanted to do that is because I wanted to use one of those portents.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you didn't really push it, so...
You could have pardoned it.
You could have been like, do you not know who I am? I am not paying for these rooms! 20 portents. Okay, I believe you.
Sivar's still too nice for this. He would feel horrible if he got the room free.
Okay. You all get a very, very nice sleep. Almost as if sleeping on pillows made of clouds and bunny rabbits.
Amazing.
And for Layla, it's just, one of the better beds you've slept in for this entire journey.
Like, is it... Like, would it compare to underwater beds?
Well, maybe she
One
put-
of the better
maybe she
ones
just-
on land.
Yeah. Maybe
There
she,
you go.
maybe she grabbed a pillow and just slept in the bath.
Nice. It's got the best water.
Alright, did anyone want to do anything before actually going to sleep? If
I'm
not,
good
we'll
with my
just
spells.
Move on to the next day.
I have an idea.
Oh, do tell.
Since I have some of these portents that are otherwise going to be wasted, can I try and push my luck and make some arcana checks to try and get a sense of what's still going on in the north and burn some of it?
You mean like near the fort?
Yeah, like the armies that were of chaos that were
Oh,
above the
right,
fort.
right, okay.
Or maybe if that's not a good idea,
No, it's,
maybe
it's
I
a
could.
good idea. The problem that I have is that I don't know what I want to give you. Because it's a good idea, and I have an idea. But I need to like sit and brainstorm for a minute.
All right, we can always do that like later on in the session.
I'm just gonna have to I'm just gonna have to like get back to you on this because that's actually a good idea using your portent, and it's double 20, so I have to pull out something. I'm gonna have to pull a rabbit out of my hat for this one, and that's gonna take me a while to set up. But I can do
Gotcha.
that later.
All right. Well, we'll say that that's what I spent my night doing, and we'll kind of fill in the details later.
Yeah. All right. I'll make a note of that. Anybody else want to do anything before nightfall?
I'll
Sync.
make my nightly prayers to Elise, of course.
All right. Again, still, you feel no response, but you do feel better about. Maybe you feel kind of bad about abandoning the fort, but you do feel a bit better about almost as if you're on the right path towards redemption. You're getting there.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely. Anybody else have anything?
Just making sure my equipment is in good working order, that's all.
You make sure your equipment is in good working order. Everything is good to go. Okay. Whew. I'm starting to fade. I can do this. We're almost done.
You got it.
I can do this.
20 more minutes. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, so the party wakes up in the morning, feeling great. Just amazing. These beds were pretty nice. And
Nice.
you can smell breakfast being cooked in the kitchen.
Do I get free back? Or is
It came
breakfast
with-
part of mine?
You wake up to the smell of breakfast. Sivart, you hear a knock on the room, on the door.
I'll get up. Look over at the mirror again, check the disguise, cast it.
Disguise yourself real quick.
Then run over to the door and open it.
So I, Pennywise. Breakfast is served. Today we have poached eggs with toast, some sausage links, and this new concoction we have called juiced orange. Apparently one of the new fruits growing out of the Leewick area. We thought that
Interesting.
you might enjoy it, sir.
Is it downstairs or does he have like
No,
a tray?
he's got the plate. He's got the tray.
Oh yeah,
It's got the breakfast. And like he
Perfect.
sets down a table, like a small table, and he sets it down like inside the table in your room. He like kind of hands out the plates, sets the glasses down, and like bows and gives you a curt nod and says, "At your leisure, sir." And then
I
he
thank
leaves the
you.
room.
Stillart is gonna start chowing down.
Agamemnon, Jericho, Layla, and Oriel, you hear a knock at the door.
Yes.
Breakfast is served downstairs in the servants' quarters.
Aye.
Thanks.
And you can hear him kind of go into
Breakfast.
different doors, just like knocking. Like telling people.
I am.
Go ahead.
I'm honestly surprised that they're treating us Demis the same as our bodyguard.
The DM doesn't have the wherewithal right now to be racist.
Oh, I can be
Oh.
racist. It's just that you guys paid money in a kind of an upstate, swanky resort, and you guys are basically servants. You're not getting the 5-star treatment that Sivart's getting. Basically, if you were to go to breakfast, you would get the powdered eggs, the juice dispenser, and the warm toast, and like, the jelly packets.
Oh yeah, the blueberry jelly
Continental.
packet.
The quote-unquote continental breakfast. Alright, anyone want to do anything before gathering up your equipment, getting the party ready to go, heading out?
Not that I know of.
I think we're set, really.
Alright, so the party gathers itself. Sivart is looking resplendent, even through his disguise. And he's basically, really happy. He's like, I don't know about you guys, but I had an awesome morning. Slept well. Maybe the powdered eggs aren't doing too well with sitting well with Layla or something. Who knows? But the party gathers itself early in the morning. The valet brings around your horses and cart. The horses have been groomed. The cart has been washed. And as you are leaving, it says, "Thank you for your stay at the Blessed Tome. Please, do tell your friends. Come again." Alright, if anyone doesn't have anything to do in town, you guys can start making your way to Grimbold.
On our way to Dwarfy Land.
Alright. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break to stretch, because I'm just kind of fading out here. But if I get up and walk around, I'll be good to go for another hour.
I'm back.
So, the party can discuss among themselves plans once they get to Grimbold, how they will enter, what they want to do when they get there. I'll be back like 5 minutes. I'll be fine.
Alright.
Oh boy.
So, how do you get diplomatic conflicts out of dwarves?
That sounds like a bad joke.
We could beat it out of them. Oh, like enter Agamemnon a pit fighting competition?
My best guess for dwarves, and this has always worked for me, is tell them they can't do something. Honey, tonight my body is off limits. The hell it is!
Alright, I will keep that one in mind for negotiations. Reverse psychology. That's right, Layla is posing it as our smuggler. Jericho, you will be our dwarven interpreter, and Agamemnon and Oriel will be bodyguards. So, I guess first things first, we'll get acquainted with a blacksmith of some sort. At that point, we might as well ask about having the ore forged into a shield. That could be a test piece. We could commission a test shield, see if they're able to do it, and if they can, we will bring more ore to do more. But, yeah,
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, this sounds good.
The biggest thing is we need to figure out why, like, what their specific reason for fighting the elves right now.
Anyone remember, anything about dwarven nobility? How would we get an audience with dwarven nobility? Any ideas? Guesstimates?
I mean, Layla's nobility, but if we're gonna have her pose as, a smuggler, I think having her use two different identities in the city is asking for.
We could make Layla our main front speaker, and she could just be a representative from Triton territory.
Yeah, but if it ever got out to the wrong ears, then the princess has been traveling with drugs, or not drug smugglers, but
Or smugglers. This is true. Using Layla's name probably is not the best of ideas.
Plus, I mean, we don't have to really get in to see nobles. I mean, someone has to be able to tell us what the elves have supposedly done.
But I tried that out over in Southbridge. There, even the dwarves were a bit tight-lipped about it. I'm thinking that we have to be important enough in some manner, and thus speaking with somebody of higher status to get that kind of information. That's why I suggested it.
Well, here's a possibility. If Oriel and Agamemnon are just bodyguards, maybe they could poke around and see if, after this job is done, they could sign up as sellswords for the job.
So, attempt to infiltrate their military?
Or, just asking around like, hey, this bodyguard work doesn't pay as well as I would like. I'm hearing rumors that you're going off to war. What's that about? What's the story with that? Maybe we could work out a deal.
Agamemnon, Oriel, do you think you could do that?
No. I've already lost my honor once. I'm not about to be a spy.
Ah.
Okay. Oriel, do you have less scruples?
Less scruples. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do
Oh,
it.
you want to lose your status too, do you?
No, but
Okay.
I'm not an officer either.
That's a bit better.
Welcome back.
Okay. Let's do
I
this.
just think while we're there, you can keep your cover and ask a few pointed questions. Keep your identity, kind of.
I think I can do that.
Is there something important to discuss that I missed?
I'm gonna poke around with the, poke around, see if I can find anything about the, about joining up with the soldiers. What they're doing. If they know what's going on.
In Southbridge or in Grimbold?
Once we get to Grimbold.
Grimbold.
Okay. Gotcha.
Keeping with the bodyguard story, basically I saying, hey, this doesn't pay super well. Maybe, I heard you guys are going off to battle. Can I help with that? How much does that pay? Why are you doing it? That kind of.
Okay. I gotcha. Alright, the party begins its journey to Grimbold, sticking to the road, I assume.
Yes.
No, that's not
Oh, and we thought about trying to find a smith to make that shield as the test piece.
Yeah.
If you can make it good, then we'll bring more ore.
Test commission.
Oh, in Southbridge or in Grimbold?
In Grimbold.
Grimbold.
Okay. Make the shield. Okay, gotcha. Ugh. Okay, the party begins its journey towards Grimbold. Takes you about a day by travel through the cart.
What's the environment like?
As you cross over Southbridge, this giant bridge, you make it into dwarven lands, and there are, at the other end of the bridge, some guards that stop you. They say, "Oh, what's your business in dwarven lands?"
We're here to commission one of your finest blacksmiths.
Oh, merchant are ya? Do you have a passage?
I do. Savart will hop out with his disguise and hand over the paperwork.
Says, "Oh, okay. Heading through Southbridge from Earthcut. All right. Stick to the roads. You won't have any troubles. Safe passage."
Thank you.
He
If I
hands
can
it
hop back
back,
in.
and they let you through the gate. And so you guys are basically sticking to the roads. You can see every now and then some dwarven caravans heading on these roads. Maybe some soldiers every now and then, but they don't pay you too much of a mind. They do kind of eye you, like, what are merchants doing out here? But they don't stop you or anything. They mostly just keep themselves, keep marching along. Eventually, you make your way to the great dwarven city of Grimbold. And there, as the mountains start to rise up from the lands, you can see this great fortress carved out of the mountains, built onto it, stone. This giant fortress. And you can easily see on tiers up above there seem to be some dwarven soldiers manning ballista, like these guards that are just keeping watch. You know, there's plenty of dwarven guards along the road. But you start making your way to these huge gates. If you've ever played World of Warcraft, just basically think Ironforge. That's all it is.
Cool.
So you make your way to these huge gates. And you see plenty of dwarven people going to and from. But it's mostly soldiers. There's not a whole lot of civilians on the road. So, you know,
Agamemnon,
a lot
take
of
us
people are
to...
giving you kind of the glaring eyes. Just like, oh, this is weird.
nearest stable.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Did we lose someone?
I gotta go. I gotta go for like 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
Ah.
Sorry!
Ah. And my cat says hi. Oh, Biscuit.
Hello, kitten.
All cats are kitties. And all dogs are puppies. Come on up, Biscuit. Say
Yes.
hi.
I heard the jingles.
She has a bell on her so we can find her.
Yes.
Otherwise, she's
Hello.
too stealthy.
We started letting our cats out this summer now that we don't have the dog, so we had to get collars for them. And our more adventurous cat keeps losing his.
On purpose.
Yeah,
It's like, no, I cannot be tamed. I will not have your fashion.
it makes hunting the chipmunks harder.
I bet. Ours have been always inside cats, so Biscuit here freaks out a bit if we ever take her outside, but she's been actually doing quite a bit better on a leash, surprisingly. We never thought she'd like that.
That's cool. One of our cats, Arrows, he was a stray for a couple of years before we adopted him.
So he's well adapted to the streets.
He's a rough and tumble cat. He has a chipped tooth and a couple of scars.
That's adorable.
He's also the biggest, cuddliest love bug.
Aww.
And you touch him and he instantly floops over and starts vibrating.
Yeah. Biscuit here is a nervous purr, or she just has a good time getting the pets. But she also super independent, so in a minute here she's gonna be like, I'm done, and be gone.
Oh, kitties, they have such personality.
And the other one's evil, and she's sitting in the corner staring at me. I'm not kidding.
She's plotting your demise.
She's been doing it for 4 years. Like, how can I kill that human? Oh, it came near me. I'm not... Oh, yep. Still don't like me. That's okay. Biscuit keeps me. Biscuit did not like being picked up at first, and then over the last 4 years, I've just trained her to enjoy it. My girlfriend never thought it possible. It's like, Biscuit doesn't like people. She doesn't like to be picked up. She's gonna squirm out every time. I'm like, it's fine. Now she loves getting picked up. And then I trained her, she likes it when she's just held like a baby.
Oh.
Yep.
Our cat Lava, I'll just pick him up under his armpits, and he'll just stretch the longest stretch,
Oh,
and then
that's
I'll drape him
adorable.
over my shoulder.
It's like Sunny.
And then Eros, I could carry him around all day, and he would just be completely contented with it. Unless we were outside.
I've joked with Ren before about getting one of those baby carriers, like I don't know what they're called, the big scarf-looking things. Because if I could carry Sunny around everywhere, he would be the happiest boy in the entire world.
That is my other cat with my girlfriend. The moment she gets home, just this lovey-dovey thing. I'm like, you traitor.
I've contemplated getting one of those. There's these hoodies that have like a pouch in the front.
Yes, I've seen those.
But I was talking to Tesla. I'd be like, I'd be such an enabler to Eros. He would never let me put him down.
That and like Sunny is like 14 pounds, so I don't know if there's
Strapped
one
to your
strong enough
chest.
to hold him.
You could get a back one.
He's a chunky boy.
A chunky monkey.
Chonkus, if you will.
That chonk. So, my girlfriend and her group of friends found a kitten at Disney. And they're zookeepers, so one of her friends just like darts off. She comes back and she's got a kitten in her hand. And now they're trying to find a home for it.
Oh, kittens.
I can't believe she caught it, because I've seen them around there before. They're fast, because they're around a ton of people already. So they know. Can't outrun a zookeeper, apparently. I do miss dogs, though.
I don't.
The giant fur monster. But they're so lovable.
Yeah, but they chew on things that are important and special.
My cat
So does
scratches
Sunny.
things.
That does not stop our boy.
Yeah, that doesn't stop my cats either. Just like, everything can sharpen my claws. Everything. Oh, and I have one of my cats. She eats clothes. She will eat
Oh.
holes in clothes. It's horrible. I can't even leave my shoes out because she'll eat the shoelaces.
I'm glad our cats aren't destructive.
Ah. I'm glad she does. She used to do it to wires. Now she doesn't do it anymore, so I'm happy about that. So I can charge my phone out in the open again.
My sister's cat did that. It was like a brand new phone, and it was like kind of expensive at the time to get a new charger. Yeah, like 8 through 3 of them.
Ah.
Good job, cat.
Tis
He's
the
such-
horror.
He's such a big tub of a cat now, but he's a sweetie. He'll just sit on you and then just like snuggle into your like under your neck.
Does he bake bread? Bake the
Oh, yeah.
biscuits?
Oh yeah. His name is
this.
Jack, and he's a black and white and brown kitty.
Aw.
Does Biscuit make biscuits?
Biscuit does not make biscuits with me. She will with my girlfriend. No, I don't get the biscuits from Biscuit. She just, super purr box.
Eros really only does when he's suckling himself. And he only does that when he's like super contentedly happy in your lap. And he's just gotten like a half an hour of like aggressive pets.
There has to be a build-up. What happened
And-
to our team?
Don't know.
What mysteries away? Who has dogs?
I have
None of
one
us?
back in Indiana, but
What kind of dog?
he's become my grandparents' dog now. He's a border collie.
Okay.
Welcome back.
I got some good news and I got some bad news.
All right, what is the good news first?
Good news is I figured out why I'm not feeling so great.
Did you save lives? Oh,
No.
all
Bad
right.
news is I'm sick.
Oh,
That's why I'm not feeling so good.
Oh no.
Is it the bacterials?
No, it's because whenever I get really depressed, I shove tons of snacks in my face, and they're not exactly nutritionally good for me, so
Ah,
the consequences will never be the same.
yeah. I'm just now getting over some kind of like nose infection. I was like, oh, please do not let me be sick. Oh, gods, D&D gods above for Friday, for Saturday. It's Friday and Saturday. I've been blessed.
I'll be okay for another 30 minutes at least. I want to get to this. I want to get to this cliffhanger I've got prepared.
Cool.
Right, so we make it to the gates of Grimbold. The party is stopped by a bunch of dwarven soldiers. They bar the way. Oh, what business do you have in Grimbold?
Sivart hops out, gathering his paperwork, comes over, shows it to the guards.
I'm gonna pop a cough drop real quick. These voices are killing me.
Haha, I know the feeling.
These
Your
are
throat just becomes sandpaper.
Yeah. These are Southbridge papers.
That's right.
That means they hold no weight here in Grimbold.
That's alright. We have our own weight in gold.
Says, I like how you think, but you need to fill out the proper documentation.
Sivart's
What
like,
is your business in Grimbold?
I am searching for an excellence in blacksmithing. Someone that can truly forge. Because I have an ore that none can even touch in Earthcut. And I need someone to forge it for me.
Hold on, that was low enough. I gotta do this.
Okay, I believe you.
Yay, it worked.
That's right. You came all the way down here for that.
Well, rumors is you dwarves are the greatest smiths in the world.
He's kind of like stands up straight a little bit. He's like, well, we are quite good at our craft. However, Grimbold is in a bit of a dire state right now. I suppose we could give you a guided tour of the city and maybe help you find what you're looking for.
Perfect.
Alright, let me go find someone. Oi, Gilly! Yes, boss? Go find a tour guide for these boys. Sure thing, boss. He just kind of like runs off, just like hop, 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 hop. Like, good boy, Gilly. He joined up this year. We're gonna take the fight to the dwarf. We're taking the fight to the elves. About time we end this feud of ours.
Well, I know nothing of dwarven and elven feuds, but
Are you
I
living
wish
under a
that-
rock, boy?
no, just behind paperwork.
Ha 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 ha! He just laughs at that like it's a really good joke. Says, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Understandable.
Do they like have a stable where we just put all our?
You're
the
just
wagon
kind of
and
hanging
stuff?
out there, and eventually Gilly comes back, and he's got this other kind of like dwarf. It's not in armor. He's like got an official-looking robes. He's got a very trimmed, very neat beard, as opposed to this gruff dwarven guard. And he comes up and he says, yes, I do believe my services were requested. He says, right, we have ourselves a lord here wants to get some kind of smithing done. Why don't you give him the tour of the city so he can see what he needs? It's like, oh, yes, of course, the tour of the city. Right this way, please. We will keep your horses here at the guard's stables until you are ready to leave.
Perfect. Let me gather my men. I'll go back and get everyone else. Are you
My
guys
lord,
ready?
my lord, I would just like to remind you that lowly creatures such as me and the Triton will probably need extra accommodations while in Grimbold.
And what extra accommodations might these be?
Whatever is necessary for the dwarves to feel comfortable allowing us into the city, my master.
What, do you wish to walk ahead as I whip you? Just carry the damn things. Let's move.
As you wish.
So
What's
as Jericho and Layla step out of the cart, this dwarven guy kind of raises an eyebrow. He says, "Oh, demi-slaves! You know we're paying high price for those these days."
I already paid a high price for these.
Oh, yes. Well, if you ever could be persuaded to let them go, I'm sure someone around here would they would fetch a high price.
Sivard ignores the comment, sticks his nose up in the air.
Yes, right this way. He goes on to, like, the whole spiel, like, Grindelwald was built in the years of 500 whatever, you know, like, 100 years before, like, 200 years before the Chaos War even began. Great city. Over here is the Market District, and... Go ahead.
Sivard keeps following, and he's got his, like, nose in the air, and he's got the snooty face, but he's actually really wanted to know that. So he's just kind of, like, scooting up next to the guy. So...
Over here, the Peasant District, the Commons, the Military Ward, and, like, down there, the Market District. But you probably want to see the Forge.
Forge?
Oh yes, plenty of blacksmiths and crafters in this area. In fact, most of our goods are shipped out towards all of Kurda's Palm. What dwarven craftsmanship is above par. What am I trying to say?
Next to none.
Next to none. Streets ahead.
Perfect.
And you're kind of like going deeper and deeper into the mountain, as it were. You see that, like, there's no windows, like, out of the mountain. You know, typical dwarven architecture. But there's plenty of braziers and torches and all kinds of stuff. There's no, like, lava flow or magma falls. I mean, safety standards. Gotta have standards.
None of those.
Sorry, no lava falls here. Just gotta go deeper and deeper into then eventually you find what he calls the Forge District, which is basically blacksmiths as far as the eye can see. And they're mainly just like these. It's basically just 4 poles, a roof, and a forge, and an anvil. That's pretty much what all these blacksmiths are. But you do see some that are kind of like, kind of have names, and have like their own buildings. So blacksmiths are pretty much dime a dozen here in Grimbold.
Alright, I'll go up next to the guy and be like, I don't want any 2-bit hack for my commission. Point me in the direction of the skilled ones.
Oh, of course. This is merely a tour of the Forge District, just so you can have a look around. Now we're gonna check your seat for a second. Okay. I was looking at something. Said, right this way. And you kind of go through the Forge District, and every now and then you'll see, like one of these buildings with a bunch of these like small tents, essentially, like these small shelters. They just had dwarves working on them. It's like, as you can tell, all of the ones with the buildings are, of course, the most successful blacksmiths. These others are merely practicing their craft, forging weapons and armor and such. There is quite a need these days for such a thing. So if you want quality, you'll have to talk with one of these fine blacksmiths.
Alright, I'll take our merry band, or at least peek over, because again, we're still getting a guide. I'm like, can I see any names specifically? Like nameplates or something?
Yeah, like each of these buildings have their own nameplates.
Okay. What did they say?
Well, do you read Dwarven?
Oh, that's right! I'll sneak back over to Jericho. Jericho, what do those... Tell me some of those names on those placards.
Yes, Master. This one is...
Just go ahead and make them up.
Yes, sir. This one is the Rusty Anvil, and down the way I see here the 3 Kegs shop.
Names. Certainly these craftsmen have names.
I see Broderick, and I see an Orn.
Ah. Perfect. Any more?
I believe this one looks rather ornate, Master. I see the screw-ridden.
I'm sorry, you broke up on that one. What?
Screw-driven nail.
Wow.
Well, I can't blame the dwarves for being crafty. Alright, I'll get back over to the guide and keep following him.
Says, did you want to continue the tour, or perhaps you wanted to browse the wares of the blacksmith?
Ooh, yes, take me through the wares.
Which one would you like to visit?
Let's visit the trusty anvil over there. I believe... Looks over at Jericho. Oron? The smith was there?
Indeed, sir. Oron.
There, yes, that's it.
Oh yes, Sir Oro. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. 2 seconds. Make sure you did. Okay. Oro.
I'm sure it's Oron Trusty Anvil, and his store is also called the Trusty Anvil.
Oron trusty anvil. Yep,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I'm just gonna facepalm for a second here. And they're dwarves. Alright, you make your way into the trusty anvil. And inside you see a dwarf kind of working the forward. He says, "Oh, welcome to trusty anvil. What can I do for you?"
I want to just walk around and begin looking at what he's making.
Sir, can I help you?
Servants,
Uh,
talk to them while I look.
Yes, Master. What shall I discuss with the proprietor?
The ore, of course, and my commission.
Understood, Master.
Sivartan just starts picking things up and looking at them.
Excuse me, sir. I do believe you are the master of this establishment.
he kind of looks at you, and then back over at because you're speaking in Dwarven to him, and he looks back at Sivart. Says, "Sir, you can speak to me directly if you want." He's speaking in common.
I don't.
Yes, the master does not speak the Dwarven tongue, hence why he hired my lowly self for this mission.
And he switches back to Dwarven and is like, right, what can I do for you?
I will deeply apologize for wasting your time if this is not a specialty of yours, but the master is looking for someone very skilled in the art of crafting implements of war out of Juris.
Judas order. Oh, he kind of scratches his head. I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. You'd have to talk to the master. See, he's out in the mines collecting ore for a new shipment. So I'm afraid I can't help you.
That is absolutely understandable. Sorry, I did. So he said the master is that the boss of this shop or who does Juris?
He's implying it's the boss of this shop. He's not the master of the shop. He's just an
Gotcha. Okay.
apprentice.
Well, is there any possibility that we could leave information with you to be given to the master when he returns?
But I guess you could, or you could go down and talk to him yourself.
Will he be receiving guests in the mine?
Well, not in the mine proper, but you can wait by the entrance and find him. I'm sure he'd be more than happy to talk about some Judas ore.
Very well. Thank you for this information. My master appreciates it.
Right. He just kind of gets back to hammering on the sword that he was working on.
Savard still, because he couldn't understand a word that was said, just like peering at stuff.
Let's see. What languages do you speak, Sav?
I speak not many. I know Common, Draconic, and Celestial.
Okay, so I'll just have to communicate with you in common, and I'll kind of relay that the master of this establishment is down in the mines, and we'll have to go speak with him about Juris.
We have to go down to him. Ask the apprentice there if he can go summon the dwarf to us.
He rather insisted that the master down at the mines would very much like to speak with us, and suggested that if it pleases you, we go and visit.
We're already in a giant mine anyway. It couldn't get any worse. Fine. Ask him for directions.
Him being our guide, or him being the apprentice?
He points over to the apprentice.
Sorry to trouble you again, but a brief description of your master, or how to find?
Well, he's balding. He's got a bit of sideburns. He's got a long braided beard, graying, and big son of a gun. Can't miss him. Just ask for Oron.
Very well. Thank you very much.
Aye.
So I will relay that, and I believe I can find him if we go there.
Cool. I guess I'll just start following Jericho then.
Alright, as you step outside, the tour guide is waiting there. Did you
We are
find
going
anything
to
you were
have-
looking for?
We're going to take a detour down into the mines to find this Oron.
Well, you're not
Good, you're
let
coming with
into the
us.
mines
Let's go.
proper. I can take you to the entrance.
Perfect. Lead the way.
Right this way. And you start heading down even further into this city, across some switchbacks, and eventually you make it to this large, metallic, just iron gate. More guards are stationed at this gate, and it is just like security is beefed up. They clearly don't want anyone getting inside this mine.
Okay. I guess we'll stop here.
They say. And the tour guide kind of goes up to one of the guards and says, "Would Master Oron have passed beyond this gate?" So, "Oh, he's inside. Did you want to speak with him?" Yes, I do believe he has some guests here." Says, "Right. Well, he'll be out in a second. shouldn't be too long. However, you'll have to... Oh, wait, no, you don't have the card. It's like... He says, shouldn't be too long, just hang in there. Should have a... Shift should be over here soon.
Sivart's like wandered a bit like touching the nearest building. Dwarven architecture is cool. Oh, what? Oh, yes.
So you guys are just kind of standing around talking with these dwarves. You know, just like, hey, what's up? What's it like being a dwarf? You know, just kind of talking. And then you hear this loud whistle. It just goes, whoo! Says, that'll be a shift change. Visitors, against the wall, make way. Make way for the slaves. And so, like, this gate opens up, and you can see just this line of people in chains. Mostly dragonborn, elf, tiefling, dragonborn. Maybe something different like a furbolg. Or something weird like a... what are those elephant creatures called?
Loxodon.
Loxodon. There's maybe some goblins here and there. But there's half orcs. There's probably not an orc. There's maybe a Karakokra, a bugbear. But it's mostly like dragonborn, half elf, maybe an elf here and there.
They're coming out of the gate?
Halflings, gnomes. No, halflings and gnomes are fine. Tieflings and half orcs. These are the ones coming out of the gate.
Huh.
And as you're just kind of watching them head into the gate, and while that's happening, you also notice this other group coming into the gate, also chained together. Dragonborn, half orc, dragonborn, half elf, tiefling, maybe a ganassi, a bugbear, furbolg, maybe a goblin or a hobgoblin sprinkled in there.
They are the sprinkles of races.
Turtle, Loxodon, maybe even a Warforged.
Wow.
They're just, like, probably about 100 of these guys.
Yeah, Sivart will lean into Jericho. What do you think they're building? With that many slaves?
Yeah, it is possible that they may just be using them for manual labor to man the mine.
Do the slaves look like they're, like, covered in soot?
Soot?
Yes.
I mean, they're dirty. They've got rags on. And
They're dirty slaves.
if you looked carefully, you would see like calluses on their hands. But these slaves are making their way into the mines, and as they're doing so, you can see this heavy-set kind of dwarven fellow walking out of the way. And one of the guards stops and says, "Oh, so you have some guests, some visitors."
Jericho, I'm their slave. I'm certain you can handle this from here.
Yes, master.
And he kind of approaches you, like, "So, what can I do for you?"
I am here representing my master, Sir I Pennywise. He has come from Earthcut and wishes to commission something to be made in Juris.
Jurisaur? I haven't seen that in a long time. Well, you came to the right place. So your boy Oran kind of like slaps his stomach. It's like he knows just what to do. So, what were you thinking?
For the time being, the master was interested in seeing if a simple shield could be produced as a test of process.
Shield. Yes, I suppose I could figure that out. You've got some of the stuff with you, do you?
Indeed, the master has arranged a small shipment to be brought for this first test, and if things go to his pleasure, perhaps additional arrangements can be made in the future.
I see. Roll persuasion with advantage.
So
You rolled
Did you use
persuasion.
both of your 20s?
Those were yesterday.
Oh no.
Okay, I
that's
believe you.
fine.
He rolled a 2 anyways. Says, right, well, let's head on back to my workshop. See what we can do. I'm gonna turn that off. We're gonna turn this to the city background music. Yeah, let's just use Fort Freyberry for now. He says, alright, let's head on back to my workshop. And we'll see what we can do, shall we? He kind of puts his hand on Sivart's shoulder and just like kind of motions for you guys to head back. He starts leading the way back to his workshop. He's got like an attendant with him. And the tour guide's still kind of there, you know, with you guys. So he's in tow currently. But as you turn around to head back, this line of slaves, you know, is basically making their way into the mines. You see the end of it. At the very end of it is a kind of emaciated looking golden dragonborn that Sivart, you look at and realize that if you had been taken in by these mines, that could have very easily been you. I mean, it looks almost like you. And then it hits you. That's your dad.
He is AFK right now, I think.
Oh, that's just great.
Oh no.
All right, we'll wait for him to get back, and then we'll hit him with it.
Put on the Jeopardy theme.
Yeah, seriously. DMCA'd.
I'm back.
All right. As you turn to follow this guy back to his shop, you see the last line of the slaves are kind of filtering in. And at the end of this line, Sivart, you see a golden dragonborn. And it kind of pops into your head that if you had been taken slaves by these guys, by these dwarves, that could very well have been you. It's very emaciated, kind of thin, worn out, dejected dragonborn. And you realize, you know, that could have very easily been you. In fact, this person kind of looks a bit like you. And then it kind of hits you as this person passes by. That was your dad.
Wait, what? Sivart's like sweating bullets as he's like, what?
Is something wrong, my lord?
Nothing. No.
The
no,
door
not
closes
at all.
on the slaves. Your father behind them. What treachery is happening in Grimbold? Why is Sivart's father here, and why is he a slave? Will the party be able to find a peaceful resolution between the elves and the dwarves? Find out next time on Dungeons and Dragons.
Dude.